Good evening, everyone. I think we're live. How are you all feeling tonight? I am at least very excited about this evening. It's been absolutely a brilliant journey here just to figure out what's going on. And this is, of course, the Factorio Challenge event number 2. We are here in game, just settling in. I will activate the sound as well because I was kind of interrupting. There we go. Okay, so what are we here for tonight? We are not here for playing to play C block. We are here to play a challenge event. I will not be playing anything. I'll be hands-off keyboard, only going around on the map. Oh, I can't even. Yeah, of course, I can't even move. And what we're looking for, we are seeing the players jump into the game at this point. Let's see, join team, here we go. We have the teams as it is. Now let's start by introducing our players. The players are Sherwood, 16, also a player from the previous series, actually number 2 from the previous event. And we have Tracer, we have Rin, we have Grumpy Joe, we have Harry Muppet. Those are all supporters of my channel, so thank you very much, and also thank you for joining this event. This is an event that's also both for supporters, but also for everyone who wants to sign up, and there will be a sign up for the next event sometime during the stream. Then we have Stig, who is not yet in, Matt P, our very most frequent chatter on the Discord, and then Pressor, who is taking a standby position, but is not here. He was also part of the previous episode or previous Factorio event, so he kind of knows what we're going to throw at him. So let's walk through the... can I just... No, I can't even... I have to join one of the teams if I go there. All right. We have to build something. Yes. So this challenge event, let's just summarize what the concept is and not really go into too many details at this point. So the challenge event is basically my sort of, what you say, my crew making an event. Basically, we come up with a scenario and launch it here in a scenario in game, and we have unsuspecting people who will be joining. They will be getting a sparse information, mainly in terms of the name of the scenario, and then the point is that they will be jumping in and figuring out what the rules are. You can see here it's getting spammed once in a while. Remember, think before you build. This is the theme of today's scenario. I cannot reveal too much about the scenario. I can reveal the facts that are already publicized. There will be no mods. There will be no biters. There will be no PvP, because this is a PvE challenge. This is a challenge where the players are competing individually against themselves and against the challenges we've thrown at them. There will be no blueprints. This means that you cannot import your blueprints. This is something we have implemented so that it doesn't become prepare a lot of blueprints in advance and just come in the game and just stamp down, and then we're all looking at monstrosities in terms of ghosts. Just filling in the ghosts. We want people to come in with their skills and build from the get-go. That's really the core of this. And let's see what I can't reveal so much more of the challenge event 2. If there are any of the players who are currently in the stream, I will ask you to please leave the stream. I would like not to have anyone watching the stream who is a player. We have to follow an honor system, or otherwise I have to add a stream delay, and I really don't like a stream delay because that will just completely kill any interaction with chat. So basically the rule is, if you are a player, please leave the chat. We are kind of monitoring an honor system, but if we see some suspicious behavior, we may just act on it. So please, this is supposed to be a challenge, not a challenge of how you cheat the poor Nilaus guy who is organizing the event. Now, what I should also say, and this is all the reason why we're trying to keep it a bit more strict today, is because there is actually a prize on this one. We are promising a $50 prize that is paid out on PayPal to the winner of the event. The winner of the event will be whoever at the time of reach the production goal. No, when the time is up, there will be 3 hours from the start event. The event will start at 8 o'clock sharp. That is in 20 minutes. It'll be starting at that moment, and at that time they'll start counting down for 3 hours. At the end of the 3 hours, we'll stop the clock, and whoever has the highest score at that time is the winner, or whoever is alive at that time. You never really know. So that's basically some of the parts of the very first event. Let's also just talk a bit about the previous event, which would then indicate or just explain to you some of the mechanics that could be here. Right. Before I do that, I want to thank the map makers, because they are the ones who do the true work. I'm just sitting here leaning back and chatting with myself and with you guys, of course. So the lead on all the map making shenanigans is Vitoli from the my community. He has been putting a tremendous amount of effort, both on the server side and the organization side, and also on building the maps. It's a really tremendous effort, and a lot of the credit goes to him. Well, basically most of the credit goes to him for these amazing challenges. Then also Sabrikai and let's see, what's that? Timbo 007 up is also has been added, just coming in the last second and making some cool changes, such as the fact that no one can move at this moment until we press the magic button. And okay, let me just check in the chat if there's anything. Capijo, no stream watching. It's a challenge, so watching the stream isn't in the honor code. Yes, thank you. So we can we? I don't want to kick people out, but it should be quite obvious that you don't want you here. So if you listen to us, you shouldn't be. That's basically it. Challenge makers were really mean. Now I know why. Okay. So let's talk about the previous event. The previous event was called The Path of Sacred, also a tribute, you could say, to our little pseudo religion in the Discord, where we are honoring all the sacred stone paths through the bases. And in that case, if you build on the path, you would spawn biters, and if you removed it or built on anything built on it would be destroyed, and biters would spawn. If you remove the path, biters would spawn. If you pave down more path, you would get some free stone furnaces. On top of that, we had the biters spawning in each corner, which turned out to be a much bigger challenge than actually what we thought. It actually worked out really well to become a real challenge, where if you dealt with it immediately, it was a trivial thing, and if you kept it down. But if you ignored it with the emotes spamming, then it really just got out of hand. Now, that's basically how it worked. We will have different challenges this time, but I will not go into more because that's kind of how we're looking at it. Also, I should say the event is being hosted by PD&V. This is Prime Dead and Vitoli, their company. And also, if someone in the chat has a link to their Patreon, then if you want to support them with all the good work they're doing, they are really trying to structure the way to do Factorio server hosting. They're posting my servers, they're hosting it for Arumba, and I'm pretty sure they're also hosting it from a lot of other places. All right, so in terms of just passing the time, I did not think that it would be so smooth. Everything is, of course, completely well organized, so everyone is here and just idling. It's a bit. I thought it would actually take a lot longer time to get this sorted, but it didn't. So run commercials. No, not really. Let's see. So come on, throw some questions at me in chat while we pass the time. Can I actually go look at a base? Yeah, kind of. No, I cannot. I cannot even move around on the map. That sucks. All right, we can look at here. All right, and this one. Let's have a look at the situation where they're starting. Let's look at Grumpy Joe, who is still... Hey, we have Talkmore. Talkmore used to be a really active player back in the days. I mean, that was like a year ago you helped me set up my Discord server. That's very kind of you. So let's look at what they're starting with. They are starting in a location. I'm just going to zoom out a bit. There's a big iron deposit, some bit of coal, stone, copper, and a bit of oil as well. Let's take one of those where you can see it all. So it looks like you have what you need in order to get started within the base here. Since this is a non-PvP event, it will actually not be possible for the players to exit their squares, because then when they start interacting, then it can easily degenerate into just boxing each other in and doing all sorts of harassment. So until we get a more robust setup in that regard, then we'll be keeping things separated. Now, what we should look at this part here, this is a bag of, or a chest of goodies that we give the players to start out with, so that they can get a smooth start and it won't be such a slow start. So these are basically some of the things just to get the ball rolling. I am pretty sure if we look at the players, they will also have two steel axes, so the fun of wood chopping will also go slightly faster. So Togmar saying, so I had to stay away from Factorio for a while, or I'd be down a wife. Well, welcome to my life. So happy wife, happy life. Well, no wife and happy life. That means otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here. That's basically one of the things when I got divorced, not at my own volition. Streaming and YouTubing was basically what I picked up as a thing that I've been dreaming of, but never really gotten around to. You absolutely have time. Just a random geek. I don't know if you have time to run to the mall or to get the mail. You absolutely have time to get the mail. I think we will start the clock at exactly 15 minutes from now. So that's actually still quite a good time to get some drinks and some beverages or some snacks or whatever you need and settle in. And I think we're gonna maybe tweak it a bit in the future so that we don't start this much earlier. And all right, let's see. What do we have here? Case, can you just use a single splitter? What? Okay, that was part of a discussion that I was not key part of. All right. So that is on that part. In order for good. Thank you, Saint Cabbage. The stream will be available after the event on my YouTube as usual. This is just if you want to see it live, then that's a bit more exciting. You can also ask questions, all that stuff, but it will be available afterwards. So I will, okay, I can really see. I have Vitoli here, and do I have anyone else? No, I don't think I have any other spectators. So let's explain about the production core. I'm going to start clicking on this one for anyone who is not familiar with how this production challenge works. So if you produce an item, let's take iron plates. So if I mine an iron ore, then I get 3.1. And then that goes into an iron plate. But an iron plate is worth 5.74 points. I have no idea where these points come from. They are derived by the developers, and I don't know how. I would imagine there's some algorithm behind it. Otherwise, you wouldn't get to those strange numbers here. But that means in this process, going from iron ore to iron plates, you will gain 2.64 because you lose the iron ore, but then you produce something as more valuable. And then, for example, if we go further and make it into steel, then we take five iron plates. This uses 5 times what we had before. And one steel plate is then worth 44 points. That means this part is a total of 15 points. Hey, Matt P, don't drop out. Good. And so on and so forth until you get to, I don't know, like a rocket silo. That's worth a lot of points. But it's actually not worth that much points because, yes, it's 26,000 additional points, but you're also putting in so much more. If we look at concrete, for example, you can get quite a lot of points from this, but it also takes a few different things to build. Stone bricks, because we love stone bricks everywhere. Obviously, you can also get quite a decent amount of points from this. And the idea is for the players to figure out a way to get as many points as possible. And that's getting as many points as possible at the 3-hour mark. It doesn't matter how many points you have in between. In the previous episode, we saw a lot of fluctuation back and forth. By the time we were about halfway through, and Nath, who was in the lead, I believe, we thought he was just safely in the lead, but because of the sort of the scripted events we'd put in, he actually ended up losing ground because he got overwhelmed by biters, and it was simply a matter of he did not really pay enough attention to maybe some of the mechanics, and it was very different because some people was maybe lucky and found the spawn locations and did something, and some were not so lucky, or maybe they didn't really catch that they were respawning. Either way, it turned into very different games in all the bases, and that's what we're also going to look at today, just to see how things are panning out, how the players are dealing with what they're doing. So when does it start? Top of the hour? Yes, top of the hour. That is a good way of saying it. Then I don't have to go into to different time zones. Yeah. And tempo, airplane. Where's an airplane? There's no airplane here. Also, artillery. I don't know if do I objective teams? Yeah, the teams are here. Everyone's on the team. We have production squad. We have the admin. Ooh, look at this. This is awesome. Is there a hover? Oh, okay. This one, I'm not gonna press it. End round, reroll round, change team. I don't think this one. I think this. I'm not gonna click it. This top one is a button that's been created by Timbo in the very last second, which will enable us to start the round when in about 10 minutes or so. So that should be this should be good. All right. What do I say? Well, there's. I'd like to see you do a speedrun to rockets to see how that would work and how could you be able to pull it off. No, I don't think. I think if you want to look at my speedruns, you can look at something like Vanilla Done Right. It took about 50 hours or so. I think that's about a speedrun for my sake. I don't do speedruns because it speedruns force you to build ugly things. Click one at exactly the hour. Yes. Or actually, I think yeah, I'll click that. So we just get that. Have what? I'll get out here as soon as, so no one says I'm lurking. All right, goodbye, Grumpy. Yeah, speedruns are not really something I enjoy. Well, enjoy watching it. I think it's fascinating, and speedrunners can show the rest of us some neat tricks. But I don't really like that idea. I think Factorio, in the essence, is about building nice, efficient things, and therefore I'll go around just messing with layouts and designs and building paths and city blocks and all those things. And that's really not. Rain builds nice factories. Rain? Who's Rain? You made the mods, Timbo? Yeah, well, it's actually not a mod. It's a scenario, and you control it from there. So, are there anything we want to check out here that we want to build? And in the beginning, the main focus is just getting the iron and copper as usual, and then you don't really start raking in the points in the beginning. That's not really that important. It's way more important to get a base up and running that will work. Yeah, who's Rain? Yeah, Vitoli made the most of it, but Timbo has also helped lately with some Lua things, and that's really cool. So, where are we? 8 minutes to go. Do we have the players in game? See, now I'm being really cruel and I'm asking the players in game, please check in so I can see if anyone is checking in. But default, okay. Hey, hello, Paul Tasker, and welcome. I'll just go here. There we go. Just writing, and it's probably hidden behind me. I'm just asking the players if they are awake. There's an airplane in the middle of the logistics track. Really? There is? There's an airplane in the middle of the logistics tab. Yeah, that one. Huh, that's interesting. How the hell did that get there? Small plane? Vitoli, where the hell did that come from? That's so interesting. Huh. I have no idea. That is so strange. I've never seen that before. I guess eating cookies, right? That seems like a great idea. Okay, see, now I know. Because you can also see here, they also have loaders. While even the loaders are part of the game, but they are not enabled. And I guess the small plane is likewise. You can see loaders here. There's a mod to enable them, but they're disabled by default. The small plane, I guess that's the same thing, that they maybe built it, a small plane, and they don't use it. Also that one. Electric energy interface, that's also a new item that is not in game. Can we find other things that are not in game? Hard to know. That thing, player port. Wonder what a player port is. Build it and see what happens. Start researching automation. Okay, we already have the first player starting the research. Feel like New Year's Eve, waiting for the fireworks. Yes. It is like the New Year's Eve waiting for the fireworks. Oh, that's also railgun darts. I mean, there's definitely something. That also means here there's a railgun. Huh. That's interesting. So there are some items in game that are not enabled. There's no Spidertron, unfortunately. That's a shame. We'd like to see a Spidertron. There are definitely some items in game that we have not been enabled. Okay. Is the infinity chest in there too? The infinity chest? I don't think there's any infinity chest. Nope, there are just normal chests. But it's interesting with the plane, and I don't see anything else that's new or uncommon. That one, and nothing else. Okay, we're down to 5 minutes, so stay patient. We are almost there. I don't want to start it early, even though everyone is ready. Then I don't want to start it early because I wanted to follow the timing. So please bear with me. I can also see people are slowly trickling in, and that is just what we need to get started. So a recap for the people joining in the last, let's say 10 minutes. This is a Factorio challenge event number 2. Today the theme is think before you buy. No, think before you build. And whatever that means, that's up to the players to figure out at this moment. And there will be some additional quirks and just features of this game that will make it a bit more interesting, as they forcing the players to think on their feet and not just copy what they usually do. That's the interesting part of it, and that's what we're gonna have a look at as we get started. And there's of course a price here, and what else is there? Hey, Prime Dead, get back in the hamster wheel. Timbo, is it allowed for the players to post their stream links here? Yes, it is. If anyone is, I'll just ask in game here. There we go. Tracy, yeah, not me. Okay, well, I would assume that anyone not speaking up is not active. So this is just so that if anyone is streaming, then we can. It's also possible to look at it from one of the player's perspective if you find my droning along to be tiresome. I'm here just so you can scream that I have to get back in the hamster wheel. Great, 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 great. Great to see you, Prime Dead, and you're just keeping the lights on. And there's a weird ammo too. Yes, there's a weird ammo too. That's the railgun. That one. Railgun darts. We don't know. It deals 100 damage. That's nice. And railgun. I'm pretty sure there must be some ammo some mod somewhere that enables these. I have not even noticed. It's not really like I need it. 100. How is that compared to anything else? This is range. Oh, this doesn't do any. This deals 24 damage and with a speed of 10 per second. This one has a speed of 0.33 per second and deal 100 damage. So that's a pretty bad deal. But then again, it hasn't been balanced against uranium at some point, at this point at least. It's interesting, some of the things where they build it and then they decided not to have it. I mean, why wouldn't you have railguns? You could just, instead of making uranium ammo, you could just say, all right, uranium is used for the railgun darts. That would make sense. Oh, we are almost ready. Okay, let's do a countdown. Let us join here and go to admin. All right, I'll do a countdown and then we get started. I think we're almost at least at my clock, we are pretty close. I'm just gonna wait a bit. So we are. Okay. So Grumpy Joe is streaming. If someone can help link find Grumpy's stream, and then if anyone wants to take a look at that. Okay, let's do a countdown. Do I want to do it all the way from 10? No, we're gonna do it from 5. Here we go. We are getting started on the first Factorio event. We're gonna do 5, and I do need to do S5. And this is really tiresome. 4, 3, count with me, which is impossible in chat. And then start round. Awesome, we are now live, and here we go. The map is being updated for us, and we should just have a look at the players, just zooming in and take a look at them. There we go. Now things have spawned. Is everyone moving? Everyone is moving. Is Rin moving? Yes, chopping along. This is the part we don't get that much sound from it. Let's actually have a look at our options for sound, and here. Let's get some music on board this one. Let's go. So we're going to look at this. Let's have a look at Rin as first. Staring at a beautiful copper field. I wonder what he's figuring out now. Yep. Putting down some burner miners. And now let's see. This is was that? Oh, that's interesting. Now I'm sure Rin discovers one of the first features of this game. Yep, he did. One of the first features is not surprising based on the name of this one is link post in Discord to Grumpy Stream. Thank you, CEO. Awesome. Now we will see the very first feature of this, and that is, it is, of course, think before you build. When you build something, you are unable to move it again. And what do we have here? Tracer is also starting with some stone and getting into stone path immediately. Want to build the path to honor it. Oh, okay. There's also something here. A nice little circular build for coal. And over here we have a bit for iron. If I'm looking at this, it looks very much like people are just taking the 10 they get and putting in. Let's have a look at the next one. Sherwood is, this is much more aggressive setup with much more iron, because you need the iron, but again, you can't support this much with this, just 3 of these. So it's all that's left the game. Oh, too bad. So the first thing that they have most certainly experienced is the fact that it is not possible to move things. Let's see, what do we have here? This is Grumpy. No, Pressure. Pressure is up here. It is very heavily focusing on the coal to start with. And nothing else at this point. You can see one of the key points here is you can pick up the chest as well, so you get a chest to work with. Let's move up. Matt P, what are you up to? Also standing down. It looks like this is the favorite place to put it down. And also there's some coal here. The usual setup. I think this is the best setup. 4 of those to 6 is probably the best ratio at this point to get started. How I would also spend the first 10 of those. And yes, I've played the game a few times. Okay, so Stig is getting down with the copper. Do we have any iron? Yeah, we do have some bit of iron. Okay, so that's a pretty early investment in additional mining facilities. I think this is also looking very good. If we look at, we don't need admin, but we need the production score. So Stig is in the lead. Doesn't matter much at this point. Yes, primed it, got it. There are more tricks to play along, but we are just letting them discover it as they come along, because even if if someone should be looking here, I don't want to give anything away. We want the players to, yeah, come on, please show the production score. I was momentarily distracted. Here we have, what is that? That's 5 for iron and 4 here, and the last one on, there we go. Okay, so I think everyone, the way that they've placed it, they've been very careful to place them at the least valuable location of the mining facilities. At least that's what we're seeing here for Harry Muppet. By just making sure that, okay, when I need to expand and take something else, then it won't get disrupted. That's still, the steel chest hasn't been picked up at this location, and we are at Grumpy Joe. Grumpy Joe is going very heavily on the iron to start with, but as usual, you don't get all this. And we have power. This is one of the critical parts. When I tested the game myself, oh, that's a mistake. Oh, yeah, see, now he's clicking feverishly, trying to pick it up because there is no room at this location for another plant. And then you're like, yep, that sucks. But yes, this is easily enough to start with. It's just a bit of a shame that you end up starting to do something. And there we go. There's more of those mistakes. We're going to see a lot of just stamping things down one tile off. And this is, when I played this scenario, I was actually surprised by how many mistakes I make. Okay, here we have something. All right, you have, okay, this is a, ooh, there's no power. Yeah, there we go. Kind of missing something on the power. I think there's a difference on if you want to put them in here. Let's see. Some power, but not really. So no power yet, but this is, I think this idea here is really good. Getting that one in and letting it down, getting the coal from the other side. No one is starting the research yet. They're just working on power. Okay, this one's going in. What you build can't be removed. Exactly. My person, I would drive me crazy. Yes, and it also drove me completely crazy. I was so frustrated when doing this, but that's kind of the fun part. Some we don't know all of them, but yes, we don't know the restrictions, but they will be becoming evident, and also some of the, it's not just making it worse or making it harder, it's also about making things easier in some case. Harry Muppet has started automation. First one starts some research. Now I'm actually, when I look at this, it suddenly strikes me that you could actually make direct insertion from here, directly in here. And that's maybe also kind of what's being done here by Tracer. I don't know. What I found, what happened with me was kind of a type of paralysis where I was so careful about building things because I didn't want to make any errors. Okay, this is very interesting. So they are outputting here and then are being put back in with burner inserters. Okay, I've never seen that one before, but it's interesting. Luckily, this is one of those questions. This is not actually a problem because you can click on it. Oh, okay, Tracer, you could actually just flip it. It is actually possible just to flip existing things that I put down. This is something that is quite handy. Oh, I ran out of belts. For now, I need to go back and get some more iron. Let's continue around here. Sherwood is out there looking. Oh, this is a guy who has played the game before. He knows what kind of shenanigans we're putting out there. This is being very preemptive about what we are throwing at them. Yes, exactly, Shatrax. Don't trap yourself with pipes. This is something we've also considered, and we have tools in the making to help if someone accidentally boxes themselves in. Instead of just sitting there idle for the next 2 hours and 50 minutes, we actually do have a would actually be yeah, would suck. So let's have a look. Grumpy Joe is at the highest in the score per minute, but Stig is still in the lead by a certain amount. Sherwood, I think this is showing exactly what he knows what we can come up with, and therefore he actually spent some of his precious build time on reconnaissance. A very important part to be doing reconnaissance. And Pressure is just running around playing in the oil field, or not oil field, the ore patch, iron ore patch. What do we have? Otherwise, we have quite a lot here. It's, in my opinion, maybe too much copper and not enough power. That would be my conclusion on this. And it's also a very ad hoc line being drawn here by Pressure all the way up and dragging it in. Let's see what things are coming. One of the key points that we want to see is we want to see the mistakes, right? We want to see where things. Okay, here we go. There's Matt is building a power. There we go. This is the first place we are looking at some science. So off we go to science. Matt is researching logistics. Does that mean he already researched automation? What What was the challenge last time? Last time it was the path is sacred, where we had we had basically a cross in the middle with a walking path, and you could not build on top of it. Anything built on top of it would be destroyed. And on top of that, we had biters spawning in the corners. There were some. It actually was. It turned out to be much more balanced than we thought by the fact that it was really tough if you did not deal with the biters, but it was quite easy to deal with the biters if you did it fast. All right, since you build it up too close to the power, maybe. Yes, this is one of the things you can either just say, screw it, I'm just going to build it easy, or okay, this is something that could be something you want to regret, right? Because now you're taking a lot of your coal deposit and spending it, the real estate here, and that's going to be hard to come by. And this is again, oops, power pole, nothing much, just work around it. I think we'll see a lot of ugly builds just from the sheer fact that, yeah, it's going to be ugly. What? Oh, there's a drawing straight lines with belts is just going to be completely impossible for me. We are at this point closing. Okay, that's an interesting location. it's using real estate very efficiently, but it is, yeah. But Stig is still in the lead in terms of the total score. But I really like the fact that we are having very close scores, even to all the way down. Sherwood was spending a lot of time out there in the world, and that's why probably he's lagging a bit behind. It'll also be about sort of, okay, Grumpy Joe is also learning from, I would guess, experience of you gotta be out there and just check what's out there just to make sure you don't get surprised. And this is an interesting way of building it, but at least the Twilight Sparkle lab here is not in the way of anything at this moment. And Grumpy Joe is now hiding in the forest. Maybe he's got a pee, so call of nature, we'll leave him to it instead of watching him. That's a bit impolite. And Rin is okay, building. Well, I thought this might be for, oh yeah, the smelting. I want to get here, but so we're starting building some stuff, and I guess the problem here is now he's yelling at me, I would guess, about the fact that they built too close, and now he can't make them go into each other. Now at this point, I am sure that they have noticed the next challenge here. There are two more things that they, I'm sure they have noticed. At least one of the things now, you cannot build chests. That is one of the things that makes a production challenge very difficult, because one of the key points of a production challenge is that you can always just put things in chests and then you accrue money. But here you actually have to build something that keeps running, because when this one gets stuck, it stops producing, and that's going to be really a key part of figuring it out. There are more things that are restricted, but at least that's something I'm sure that they've now noticed, that you cannot pick up things that you've placed, and there are no chests. And chests is, can't build chests. Yeah, that makes it a lot more challenging in terms of how do you accrue points, because something as simple as green circuits, you're actually really in trouble with green circuits, because it's just easy to build like a small setup and just throw it in. That time the chest made the winner. Exactly. That's one of the things where we want to do something different. Yeah, you have to remember something about chests. These are actually functioning as chests as well, because they can keep 100 items. So that's a chest. The other thing is that chest can be picked up. That's a trick that not everyone has seen yet, but you can pick up the chest, and that gives you at least one chest that you can then try using as efficiently as possible. Let's see where anyone is building that chest. So you could, for example, build it as a production for red signs if you want that, or for coal, or for whatever else you want to put in. But you need to use it as efficiently as possible. Let's see, where do we go to Stig? He is in the lead. Let's have a look at how it looks when you're in the lead. Oh, so not only is he in the lead point-wise, but he's also really starting to scale up now. This is a nice scaling up. Now he needs to bring copper in somehow. And that's going to be the challenge. So he needs copper coming from over here. and get into this location. That's going to be an interesting. Can you move the sacred chest multiple times? Yes, you can. Once you pick up the chest, this chest can be moved around. But this is looking really good from Stig. It's going to produce a lot of iron immediately, and you can see he's now jumping way up to support this. But I think he's going to be in trouble soon. He has not realized that this chest can be moved. Let's see if anyone else is using the chest actively. Oh, was there a spam? No, there's not a spam. Let's keep an eye out. We are at 2. Now we played for 15 minutes very soon, and this is when something happens. So let's keep an eye out what happens at exactly 2:45:0. That's one of the first things. Look for solutions elsewhere. That's the spam. I hope that people are noticing this, and that means they need to go out and look into the world. Oh, there you go. Harry Muppet, it spawned right next to them, and that's making it easy. So what was in this chest? I'm just checking myself. The chest was Tracer. Thank you. All right, so I'm not all evil. So the first one contained modular armor with 2 personal robopods and 20 robots. So these are the slow robots, but it makes it easier for the user. It is a double-edged sword, and that's actually what we are designing as well. Again here, so conditioned already to the fact that you can't pick up the chests that. Not even trying to pick up the chest. Also, this one is still around. But actually, if they picked up the chest, they would see, I can use it. And, see here. Now, Harry Muppet, I'm pretty sure he has discovered the next problem. Because the next problem, and this is going to be the tough one. This is when it really becomes a cruel, cruel world. It is not possible to build underground belts. There you have it. Underground belts are banned. And so designing with this is the trick. This is exactly the reason why roboports are a double-edged sword. Because when designing things, you really want to be able to design something, and you do that with ghosts. But now you suddenly have a roboport in the very early game. So when you start making ghosts, it'll just start placing them, which will be quite annoying because you can't pick them up. Players can look at their blueprint and say, see, this is the problem. I don't think you wanted to do this. Yeah, this is exactly, thank you, Harry Muppet. This is exactly what we wanted. We wanted people to start saying, if I don't have underground belts, I'm going to need to do a design. Start putting down ghost images, and then all hell breaks loose because the ghost images will be placed. Yeah, no underneath these, but you will have goodie chests. So keep in mind that goodie chests are, have a look at Grumpy Joe. Wow, Stig is really just pulling ahead now. Let's look at Grumpy Joe, what he's doing, and also trying to figure out how to build this. This is a good setup because you can put 100 copper here and 100 iron here, and then this one can keep working for quite a while. There, this is where the chest is being used. I'm not really sure that's the best location, but it works. I would put it exactly there. Grumpy Joe has really figured it out. Grumpy Joe is building, using the chest actively as part of his base, and that gives a tremendous benefit. Look at this as well. Just keeping it running. I think that once you place it, I don't think you can pick it up again. I think it's a one-time thing that you can place the stuff that you can pick up the stuff that we place, but after that, no. This is a very good usage because that is going to help him continue checking. Now we also saw Sherwood researching military. Why would he research military? Well, there are 2 theories. One of them is, see here, there's a nice design here, looking at how to design it. 2 reasons why you would research military. One is to get weapons to shoot things up. And the other thing is as a precaution if the evil map makers decide to throw biters at them. But at this point, let's see. Yep, Sherwood has also picked up this one. I think is a really good idea. Very simple way of making this. Maybe what you could do is actually just flip it once in a while and put it into one of those chests, which will then make more stone bricks if you need that. And then You can just rotate it back and forth because rotating works. Let's have a look at Stig, because he is quite significantly in the lead, and this is pretty much this one that's causing it. So he has been manually feeding it, you can see here. They either have 49, 50 or 25. Okay, no, some of them have nothing. But this is making a ton of points for him. It doesn't really continue tech-wise. Dutch people are evil? Yes, they are. But this is not Dutch people. This is actually an evil Dane who came up with these rules. It was implemented by... see, this one, I would say, is not a mistake, but it's something where you're like, oh, damn, it doesn't work like this. Because building it like this... oh, okay, there we go. Putting something alternative. Ah, okay, so this was actually really well planned. You could... okay, that's interesting. And then maybe take the iron from here out this way and go in. Has Stig realized? No, he hasn't realized that he can pick these up. But he's still way in the lead. Grumpy Joe is the... let's see what Matt is doing. Oh, maybe he's given up. We should look in Discord. Is he writing in Discord? I'm just going to have a look in Discord. And... yes. Okay, Matt P, if you want stream. Okay, so here we have turrets. Show it is being really precautious. Tracer has decided military is not the way to go. Wait, are you Dutch? No, I'm not Dutch. I'm Danish. You should start to train evil overlord. Yeah, well, I'll get around to it. I may be an evil overlord, but the laughter doesn't come natural. All right, so what we will be seeing at this moment in time is definitely we'll see the players trying to figure out how to solve it. And that means the progress will most likely be a lot slower than we would normally see, because something like this, I'm like, oh crap, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? What is the next? What am I going to do? And it can lead to sort of analysis paralysis. This is also one of the challenges here, where people will start like this one. There is a way to make basically underground belts. What you can do is, for example, here you could take iron coming in here, and then you can filter the iron to go on this side, and then the copper would go on this side, and thereby you would actually make them go in here, and they would just switch sides. So this is a poor man's underground belt that can be done. It takes a bit of it's a bit of a hassle to get it done, but it can work. So Efix, I just finished your new Bob's Angel video. Do you know that you can put silicon into a furnace and can glass and don't need the whole washing? Yes, I know that. 2 reasons. Silicon is extremely useful. Okay, so this was simply a matter of getting it back, and therefore we get these ugly designs, but that's kind of the whole point of it. I know that it is possible. What if people get stuck because of pipes? Yep, we have tools in our toolbox to help with that problem exactly. Back to the questions about the silicon. Yes, there are kind of 2 things. I know that I kind of forgot it because usually I play with the angels only, where you must go the angels process, and on top of that, I'm going to use so much silicon for so many things, and therefore I don't want to use all of it just to make glass, because then I suddenly end up with... but I could make it. I wouldn't make it in any different sequence anyway, but it might be reasonable. Let's have a look. Stig is just continue to pull ahead quite significantly. Has he practiced? Does he know what's going on? See, this one is... the problem with this is you have, as you can see here, there are 2 items and it doesn't produce anymore. That is the big challenge of the of this challenge here, is that you're getting stuck on this. And this is again, Matt P is also realizing it now. It's like, all right, how do I get coal in? But luckily we have 6 minutes until the next event or thing happens. Let's have a look back at the Stig just to see what he's up to. Okay, so I like this. I like what I'm seeing, because what I'm seeing here is he's being really careful. Either he wants to lead it in here and get it in on those sides, or he wants to, for example, if you're taking coal line and just smash it into the side, it actually works on side. The question then becomes, how do you do it on the other side? Angel Smelting Patch mod. Yes, that's the one I usually... That's the one I usually have enabled just to force myself to use it. But this was more of a pure scenario. Let's see. Harry Muppet has kind of lost ground, and I think he got stuck. Yeah, got stuck in design hell. Wow, this is. Thank you, Harry Muppet. This is exactly what I wished for. This is so perfect. I know it doesn't seem perfect, but it's perfect from the perspective of entertainment value. Of trying to figure out, all right, what the hell, how the hell do I switch these things around? And you end up building a lot of things, and then at some point he'll probably say, all right, I need to do it a lot simpler. Harry Muppet here, Matt P has been stalling as well for a while. But Harry Muppet, let's have a look. Grumpy Joe, oh, I wish I could click on it and it would zoom to that character. That would actually be so cool if I could click here. But then again, these are the team names and not the player names. Let's go. Grumpy Joe. Grumpy Joe has decided to build one path all the way through, and he went up here to start doing some design. This is brilliant. This is exactly what we wanted to. Like, you can rotate the belts to save that. Yep, he can. Yeah, spaghetti incoming. This is exactly the point. And I bet we're all of us not playing are sitting there like, yeah, how would I do it? Because it's such a trivial item, the underground belts, or the underneathies. It's such a trivial item, but suddenly when you don't have it, you realize, hey, things become way more difficult. Those red inserters to pass the belts. What? Who had red inserters? That's a great idea. I actually didn't consider that. Who built red inserters? Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, this is awesome. This is a great idea. This is pretty damn cool. So he has figured it out. I did not even consider this. And even... Oh, this is awesome. This is a very technical solution. This is very, very cool. And Rin is starting optics. I like researching optics in production channels. This is brilliant. Yeah, right. No undergrounds. That is correct. No undergrounds. Maybe I could actually make a text on the screen somewhere. Maybe somewhere that we say rules discovered. We could do that. And I'll do that. I'm just typing something so we can put it on the screen. There we go. Gonna put it on the screen somewhere. Should we put it there? Should we put it there? We'll put it over here. Since I won't have anything in the lower right hand corner, we can take these and move over here as well. There we go. So we now have some rules discovered. We have 2 minutes until the next checkpoint. Just make a bot command. Yeah, that's actually cool, but I think a lot of people would be just then I'd have to update the bot command. But I think we should look at on the screen as well. Is it annoying to have it on the screen? Is fast replace available, like replacing belts with a splitter? No, that's not possible either. Let's see. This, I am totally in awe about it, and I don't care about Harry Muppet being the last one, but he has figured out some... I think this is the coolest setup so far. Let's have a look at the other players, what they have come up with. There's some design here. These are just starting on a small base. This one is such a nice use of the iron chest. And Rin is... Oh, he's chilling by the sea. Yeah, see, running away. Is it still being haunted by the fact that he has by? No, he's actually working. Oh, he wants this. Interesting. Except you can't deconstruct things. Yeah, it's readable, but under your channel. Under my channel logo. Yes, on YouTube there's a watermark. Right? Isn't there? Let's see. Oh, now it probably starts speaking as well. Yeah. Okay. There's the watermark would block it. What about Rin? What have you built? What have you built so far? Okay, you built a lot of nice spaghetti. I like this one. It's doing stuff and coming back and using red inserters. Red inserters, excellent suggestion. They are gonna be the lifeline. This is nice, and they are down here. Oh, look for solutions elsewhere. Another spam. So that was at the 50-minute mark. Let's see if people are, just look at the overview, if people are just running around checking things. Let's see if we can find one of the chests before the players do. I don't know where they are. I just know the approximate distance of where they are. They should be progressively harder to find, but I don't know the exact location. But it will basically be about... What was that? Beep beep somewhere. Yeah, and Tracer is running out around finding things. Let's see if we can find something. I don't know where it is. It could also just be in the middle of the forest. That would make it different. Oh, is that it? Yes, there it is. Here we go. This is what we put in this chest. So that's going to be a very, very nice thing for the players when, if they discover it. And this is the core of the challenge. If you understand the rules, see through the pattern, and start reacting to it, then you will get a nice bonus. So what is this about? Well, Lawrence, you can see here the... let's see. Has anyone found this goodie bag? This is here. No, not that one. Here. Oh, Grumpy. Oh, are you seeing it? Are you seeing it, my friend? No. It's right there. Oh dear. Let's see. Is it discovered? No, not discovered. Has no one found it? You have not found it either. Oh, yes, you have. Look at that. Just celebrating by placing a random one there. So, at least one person has, and that's Stig, who did not need the edge, but it just so happens that he has built exactly in the correct direction. And actually using this for storage. This is a nice, even though it could actually be picked up once. And here we go. So that's those are the chests are now being put in use. And this makes a huge difference for whoever has found these items. Let's see. Yeah, you've also found it, right? Have you? No, Matt? Haven't you found it? Yes, you have. You have found it. It's no longer down here. So you're also running around that you can now build some better things. And then the question becomes, all right, so you have the things. Now, how are you going to use your 10 belts, underground belts, and your 10 chests? Because they can... Is it here? Yeah, you've also found it. Excellent. Let's see. Pressor is like this. I like this one. Those are just the small kinks that will definitely be there. And you then, where are you? Where are you, my friend? You have gone away. Oh, there. Sorry, that brown color is really difficult to see. But I think this is also a nice, clean idea of how to do it. And then you just need it on the other side as well. You can actually swap these two with two sets. Oh, look at this. This is another part. Weapons are not dealing any damage. Look at this. It has lost 2 hit points. Because we didn't want that to happen. We didn't want people to just buy the weapons and shoot it up. But there is also a trick to that. If they can upgrade their buildings. No, they cannot upgrade buildings. Not gifts for those who didn't get up. I don't know if they can upgrade their buildings. No. Stealth chest. Let me suggest some kind of battle royale for the next event. Yeah, battle royale. That would be a PvP. There is also already a PvP event being hosted, and this is kind of the domain of Clowntown and Mojo. And I'm gonna leave it as their domain, and I'll be hosting PvP or PvE events such as this one, where we'll have some challenge and we'll have the players compete for how it. Let's do it. This one is Sherwood has a really nice job here, but do we have any underground belts? No. Okay, see, he runs away immediately. This is very nice. You can start using the robots quite efficiently. It's very nice to have the robots at least, but he should have all this. Should have the undergrounds. I can't see what you have in the inventory, but the chest would be down here, and it's no longer. Let's have a look. Anyone who hasn't discovered the chests? No, it was down here, right? Oops, I got lost. Oh, that one is that's a bit of a shame, because that is quite valuable, and you're gonna be, I mean, life is gonna be hard on you if you do not find it. They figured rule number 2, no shooting. Yeah, I'll add that one, rules. The guns don't work. That has a reminiscence of an old Verve song, but that's not the guns, that's the drugs that don't work. Right, that's a nice bit of curve around it, just to make absolutely sure. I think at this point everyone is sort of working on a very small scale and being very technical about how they solve the problem. Oh, those poor buggers. They're just quite a while before you need to get over there. Oh, are you, come on. You can do it. Did you? No, it's right there. Come on. Oh, that's so bad. Let's see. You have it. Excellent. So, Tracer, what do we have here? What are you building for us? This is a nice setup. This is I think is the easiest way to do it. You can always do like one up and one down. And do we have any? Okay, that one's built there. That, okay. Well, that's fine. I mean, it's 90. It'll just be quite neat to start having some more chests here. I must say that Stig is really in the lead. I can't click on this one because Harry Muppet is really spent a lot of time on the design, but now that the design is working, is going up the ranks. Absolutely. Talk more. Do grenades work? Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. They will need to figure that out for themselves, whether grenades are different. I like how the score, except for Sig, are jumping all over the place. Yeah. That I like that as well, because it some people spend 10 minutes on design, some spend 5 minutes on design, and the people who spend 5 minutes, they will go. But Grumpy Joe is either he's completely stopped everything. What is up, Grumpy? You got stuck. It must maybe just everything got stuck while he was designing things. Oh, okay, he has tried shooting again, and that doesn't work. Shooting is not getting us anywhere just yet. Let's see, what do we have? That one was a test sample, but didn't really get there. I think we should not underestimate how frustrating this can be for the players. And I think poor Grumpy is just tearing his hair out, because it's so difficult to figure it out. I knew what I was going into when I tested the scenario, and it was just like, all right, then I can't do that, and I can't do that, and I can't do that, and it was really hard to start building things. I think that in the context of having 3 hours to build this, I think there's also a matter for the players to start considering, how much am I going to make in 3 hours? And then maybe, because it won't be a tech race by no means, it'll be building something and then just building it to scale. Let's have a look at Stig, what he is up to. And just this one is actually raking in quite a lot of points. He's now trying to figure out what the next thing will be. I think he's maybe overused the chests here by a fair margin, but it's still, this might be all there is to it for his part. It's just saying, all right, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to build it better than anyone, and then I will have a higher score per minute than anyone else. But that's the That's the difficult part here, is figuring out when you reach a point and you just plateau and just keep building more. I think that if I judge from the previous scenario, then okay, how did we do this one? Oh, look at that. That's an interesting way. Ah, okay, that's also quite strange, but yeah, it does get something, and it doesn't use much coal. So there's also a point where you could ask yourself, all right, what if I just build a lot of these and then just do it manually? Just go over and just spam it down, spam it back up. I don't know if that's sufficient, but you need to do that like every 10 minutes or so. And that might just be, that's just 10 minutes of... You okay, Grumpy? Maybe he's crying. Go, poke him. Go. Or he's thinking, designing. Can I see the scoreboard? Yes, they can all see the scoreboard. I guess the replacing belts with splitter does not work either. Correct. The auto replace is not working. And hello, 3RA Gaming. Good to see you having a peek in here. The hamsters, yeah, frame dead. I must say, the last time we had these momentary glitches when you got tired on the hamster wheel, but something is working really well now. Now we can see here the score is kind of sorting according to the scores per minute. So Pressure and Harry Muppet are still significantly behind Steak, but Steak has also just decided to go completely for scale. Let's have a look at what Pressure is up to. It's been a while since we checked this one out. Pressure, this is actually what makes him the money. And then there's a... I like this concept. This is thinking ahead by saying, yeah, I'm probably going to need some more of this. I think this should have been way bigger. Way bigger. You can also see at this point, you could have just let it in here. I don't think anyone, or not many, has realized, at least not yet, that you can actually flip it. So Matt is starting solar energy. That is very ambitious. And here there's going to be another, I guess this is going to be for the copper. I guess when you look at those 10 underground belts, you have to start thinking about, all right, where do I need them? Personally, I would use them for, use 2 for each of these. 1 to bring it in and 1 to bring it across. I'll try to make as many smelting columns as possible, because this one can be really efficient. Really good, right? So you could basically take 1 out and then build a 4x4 splitter, and then build it to 1 location, to 2, 3, 4, and then see how many undergrounds would that be? That'd be too much. Can you use the logistics chest? Yes, if you get there. There's no autosaving, there still isn't. This is very good. The server is running absolutely perfectly today. So Pressure is, I'm actually a bit surprised by how much money he's making, or how much points he's making with this base. I guess this one is also keeps going. But that one, okay, so now more is being built. I'm surprised that this is so good with this much. Where do we have the Harry Muppet? We can go up to Matt, who's going for solar panels. Seems a bit premature to go for solar panels. This one will also be very difficult to build, but I can see they've been manually fed, and I think it's something I think it's easy to underestimate. That manually feeding might actually be a really good idea. Oh, Cherry, that's a really good point to mention. To mention PD&V, the Prime Dead and Vitali, their Factorio hosting service, Factorio server hosting service. So if you want your own private server hosted, support them and they will help with servers depending on how much you support. For example, in my case, I'm committing a lot more on this. Maybe pause at 1 hour and 2 hour if that doesn't happen, because there also are no drink autosaves. Drink autosave, yes. That is a good point. We are closing up on the next 15-minute mark. I think that's to look at. Okay, so Matt, I like this way. I don't think it's bad if you can. No, actually, I think it's bad now that I think of it. The reason why this is bad is because it easily gets stuck. These guys, if you look at it, ooh, electricity problems. Maybe that's why he started researching solar panels. Maybe a bit. Ooh, there we go. It is now completely dead. Go, fix it, fix it. There we go. Steam engines are back up. Let's have a look at our lead. Stig has been actually declining quite a bit. Why is that? Maybe that's... here we go. He is not emptying these. And I think that's what the core of the matter is. I like this small base here. It is consuming a lot. And, okay. Oh, this is neat. This is well thought out. Putting it in here, then they put it into chests, and then they can go down and build lots more. Building this one goes out and becomes green science. I like this. This is very neat. This seems almost like he... Oh, there you go. Look for solutions elsewhere. There it is. It's not much. It's not much. It's just something. It's something to get the ball rolling here. I think that for some it may make a difference, but not for everyone. For example, basically one of the things that you can consider is with this reward, when you notice it, you could basically say, all right, what one tech, can I do tech? No, I can't do tech. Unbreak and deconstruct is too much. That's just 2 more also not being fun. Could live with tooth, but this is not Factorio any longer. Yeah. To say he's a really creative builder. Yeah, I agree. He has really figured out a cool way to make it actually look really neat. And this is a nice big array. I think the challenge on this one, ooh. Okay, so that's the way to get it on the inside. And you have a lot of stuff here. And Harry Muppet, he has to realize that, all right, I like those splitters by splitting early and often. But you have to realize, what are you going to build? What is it you want to build here? That's an interesting build. So basically, this is a built storage. A belted storage. So it goes all around, and when it goes out, it goes into the inner lane. And then it can start filling up the next one. I think that's a bit strange. He did not want to use one of his belts on this. This is a really neat. Two. So Stig is here. What do we have? 4,200. Somehow he has declined, and I think he has declined because his lines here are not working. Now, if I recall correctly, no, it's actually, if he picks this up, there's actually another part that I did not consider when we designed this challenge. You might actually end up in a situation where you fill up your inventory and it's hard to get rid of stuff. That could happen. But what could also be done, if he took all of those iron he had here and put them into steel, then he would just get more points. I think he's kind of careful about not destroying it. But for example, these 4.2k, he's never going to use them. Well, he might. But just transforming all of this iron into steel would be a lot of additional value. So this is where we can say steel, for example. You would just get an extra 15. That's like for each one of these. If this is 5.74, then you add basically 3 more on top to transform it into steel. Rin is also hating it. But if... yeah, okay. See, I like this. Just start transforming into steel. Steel is worth a lot of points. I think there's something is really worth considering how much steel is worth in terms of point. What happened to Grumpy that made him quit? I think the 5 points you can see here. I'm probably thinking about it too much. Whatever, I think I will get the system stuck. I'd rather build Angel's rockets fuel again. But yeah, Angel's rocket fuel. That's also something that takes a bit, but it's yeah. This is the part. This is the most frustrating part for Rin, for example. Like you misplace something and you're like, damn it, now I have to redo the whole thing somewhere else. And what he messed up that pushed him over the edge. I think it's just that face is what I mentioned went with that voice. All right, so I don't think there's anyone who says, "Oh, you look exactly like you sound." I don't think anyone has ever said that sentence. And but Furnace, what did you expect? Not this handsome. That's my take on it, right? And there we go. Okay, Tracer is also keeping up here. Well, not keeping up, but he's now in the 3rd position. So we haven't had a look at Tracer for a while, but let's see what he's been doing that keeps him up here. Okay, this is a... yeah, this is what happens. But I like this. This is exactly the whole point of it. You end up doing something ugly, and then you just say, all right, deal with it, and move on. And this is something, this disgustingness would never go in a normal base, but here you just build it, move away, don't ever look at it again. Some copper, but I think it's really the important part, even to the extent of just making a second copper line here. Of course you need inserters and everything, but if you just look at inserters, yeah, where are they? Here. Even constructing inserters from the ingredients is a net plus, and placing it down doesn't lose it. So you can, no matter what you build, you will get more value out of it. And that's, I think, is the key. So, for example, here, yeah, sure, just build it and put it down. You're not losing it. What now? Project and second as well. What did Grumpy not? Oh, maybe it's because if he never found those chests, then of course that would also make it slightly more frustrating. I would imagine that would be research to landfill. Grumpy Joe wants landfill. And let's see, where are we? This is about the closest. Okay, we are 8 minutes from the 2 hour. Then I'll be. I think we should just pause it for 1 minute. I don't think we can actually. Admin. No, we can end round, but we can't do anything. We can't pause. But that's when we'll just take maybe a sip. This one again, I think it's important to keep building it. I think this is where it differs from a normal game where you don't want to overbuild things here. But since this is your best storage, it can store 100, then by all means keep it there. Keep storing it. This is also really, really nice. So Harry Muppet, how's he doing? 2.5. It's not that much, but I guess this is because it is. And this one is also really cool. I like this one. This is something I did not expect, and no one has designed like this before. So this is the key point of this challenge, and these challenges in general is, yeah, no pausing. That's all right. That's fine. This is the key point. We are forcing you to design something that no one has ever built before, right? Oh, and now you're running out of space for this. There we go. That's a clumsy way of doing it, but there we go. It works. You get the. It takes a bit more, but you utilize the resources you have in order to build the science. Science is, as far as I recall, one of the places where you actually destroy value, because you make it into science facility, but once you build this one, it does not go any further. Yeah. No, it's actually, you build those 28, but you don't lose anything. Or do you? Do you actually lose it when you consume it? I think you might be losing it when you consume it. That's also why, for example, Grumpy Joe is now at a negative number. Wonder why that is. That is because he's consuming, and that's consuming things here, but not getting any products out. Everything else is stalled. And that's why it's a negative number. So there's a consumption of materials. Destroying it does not lose it, but Yeah, so destroying it does not lose it, but consuming an item does. Where have we not looked for a while? Pressure, you have hit the mark here, and flipping it around, getting back, this is good. Oh, they're all synchronized. Oh, this looks nice. They're all synchronized. That's so neat, almost, at least. Come on, take the coal. It looked really neat when it grabbed the coal in there. Yeah, you lose potions. You lose points when you lose points when you consume materials, but you get more points when you with the product that you produce, except when you don't get a product, such as when you put coal into a steam engine or into a furnace, then you lose it. And then you lose points, and that's why. So is he... I don't see anything. Not yet, at least. Well, that might not be the best use of underground belts. Well, oh, wow. That is an excessive use of your precious belts. And you're not going to build on the stone on the path, are you? In this case, it's very, very difficult to fix your mistakes from this. If you build on the path, or in this case, you build the path below. I think this is also a fair one, that you just try and see if there's a benefit to it. In this case, there isn't. We don't want to do the same. So I think Rin should focus a bit more on scale, because things are simply too small. And like, this is just not enough. You need way bigger, because a lot of this it's a production challenge, so you need to produce stuff, and the lack of chest makes it even a bit more difficult. Which the idea for us as designing it is that we want the users to not just produce for stockpile, but actually continue to produce, because you can't really stockpile a lot of things. What is really interesting here is Pressure is now really rocking it. Let's go over and see what he has been doing to get up there. Let's see. What is it that generates so much value? I guess all this copper here is really kicking in and getting some nice value. Also, there's using a chest for accumulating things. Very nice. And that's really what kicks in. Stig has lost a lot of steam lately, but still there's a big difference. It's what is it, 80,000, and that'll take 80,000 40 minutes to catch up. That's it's gonna be difficult to catch up. Sherwood is also really getting into gear. It's interesting to see how they fluctuate so much. I mean, Stig is just basically stalling at this point. Here, I guess it's because look at this, beautiful. Beautiful, Sherwood. This is absolutely beautiful. This is exactly how I also thought, all right, this is how we do it. This one is also a brilliant way of doing it. I really like everything I'm seeing here. And this one, just getting out. And this is the real money maker. Just, you take all of your iron and you just smash it in here. It's going to take forever to build all these and make them accumulate. So this is a great way to convert your stockpiled iron into value. Just putting it in. And yeah, steel is actually quite valuable. You can use the steel for a number of things. Most likely, I would say this one would be a good candidate for burning off some steel. You get quite a lot of additional points here, because it's also a long craft time. Because it's a long craft time, it uses a lot of units. What else could be valuable? What about this one? This is actually, I don't know, it doesn't have a lot of value, but it could be. Just it produces extremely fast. What else could we imagine that would be steel heavy? What about steel furnaces? Are they good? They're actually quite a lot of points because of the intense. The stone bricks are easy to make, and you could actually get with steel furnaces, and once you have it, you also build twice as fast, or burn it off twice as fast, for example here. So building stone furnaces or steel furnaces would not be a bad idea. Pressure is up there, Sherwood is up there. Stig has just completely fallen asleep, maybe. Let's have a look on... Oh, I can move. Hey, I can move. move at a decent speed. Let's see. Can I move? I don't want to move into people's bases because I don't know if they can see me or not. We're going to have to look at it here. So, Stig, you are... Oh, this is the reason. Yeah. There's a problem on the power and that's being resolved now. I think you're going to find that it will be difficult if you do not place some power poles very soon. Then you will get stuck. Okay, there we go. There's the power poles. As stated, then it works. Presser losing a bit of steam, but Sherwood is really just getting up there, and he will be taking over from Harry Muppet in 2 minutes or so. We are almost there with the next event, or next spawning base. Let's see. We have 13 seconds, and then we'll get another hint of things. Right, possible here in 3 hours. Impossible. I think it's pretty much important. Oh, the plane comes from the campaign. There we go. Look for solutions elsewhere. There it is. Nope, that's the old one. Can I see it on the map? No. Oh. Whoa. Grumpy Joe, insert count, cannot execute command. Ooh. What? What are you doing? And let's see. So, let's see if we can find the chat. Oh, there it is. There it is. Here you go. So what is this for? This is giving a very strong hint about how you deconstruct in this game. Whether someone wants to use this or not is up to them, but it gives you an option of deconstruction. Let's have a look at it in terms of just producing. Yeah, don't read that. This one, it takes forever to build. And, oh, there you go. Oh, that's brilliant. Tracer found his goodie bag. Excellent. Let's see who else found their goodie bag. So Tracer, let's see if Tracer actually decides to do some deconstruction. What needs to be deconstructed? It's tempting, right? It's tempting. Just, I don't think you have anything that needs deconstruction. Anyone else has found it? Rin has also found it. Okay, here this one is just grabbing stuff. Well, again, I think the problem for Rin is the scale of things. It's not big enough to really compete. And I think this is one. Okay, Stig is really back in gear again. I think what he did was basically go back and empty all of this production so it starts producing again. Because once it's full, then it doesn't do much. And this is great to see because the fact that these are actually empty means a hell of a lot. And this is a great way to build. Let's have a look at... they're producing a lot. That is excellent. Yes, deconstruction at last, and tree removal. I probably wouldn't use it for tree removal, but here as well, he should start working on this one to get some green science going. Or just put well, you don't need a box because they are actually accumulating into the boxes. But this is really efficient considering how small it is. I think this is an absolutely brilliant way of doing it. I love this design. This is really cool. So definitely, oh, that one is also interesting. That's what we call a minor mishap. So actually just tapping them down. And grenades are there for suicide actually. For those who can't stand it anymore. Yep. Oh, Stig, what did you find? Did you find something? Oh, you found something else. There we go. The great thing about the green science, if we look at this, all processing is red and green. And that's where... There we are. Harry Muppet. Where's Harry Muppet? You're gone. What? There you go. He started researching... Okay, very slowly, but is researching at this point. Okay, electric energy distribution, that is also red-green. The point of this chest with the 100 green science in is that you can look at the science and say, I want that one. I want that science, and then just research it. It does give some pretty good capabilities. This is looking really nice. Here we have production of green and red, and This is a... Yeah, Harry Muppet is definitely getting some good green science here. Unfortunately, since the green science is being consumed, it is it is being destroying value, and that's why Harry Muppet is at such a low value considering even the high-tech products that is being produced. I guess his strategy might be in terms of just working towards some oil production, because oil is also, if you look at oil, do I have any liquid oil? Yeah, for example, if I do this one, that one, oh, I can't do this. And look at Grumpy. I don't know if I want to look at Grumpy. See here, 20. One crude oil gives 0.2 points. Let's have a look at Grumpy, what Grumpy is doing. Exploding. Wow, that's productive. And those poor robots are just trying to keep up. Yeah, well, I don't think we need to keep up with this as a contender. Wow, Stig is just pulling away from everyone at this point, and I guess it's still this little base here is the fact that it's being consumed entirely. What's happening with Grumpy Joe? Yeah, well, Bromide, no PvP. Is it PvP? No, it's purely PvE. It's purely the challenge is the obstacles that we have put in the way for them. I think Sherwood is again heading quite a bit up there, and will probably overtake Pressure in 10 minutes or so. I think that's... Doesn't that look reasonable? 30? Yeah, about 10 minutes if they continue as they are. This setup is really good. It works at least. Even just this teeny tiny amount here. Okay, just the fact that it now goes in entirely. The fact that everything is moving is incredibly important. One thing I would think would really kick off here would be steel production. That would make a big difference. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, that's just power production. Yeah, let's just say from Stig's perspective, that is sorted. What do we have, Matt? What is Matt doing? Matt is just producing an obscene amount of steel. I don't think this is a bad idea. This is not a bad idea if you look at steel just again. Producing a lot. Ooh. Harry Muppet is researching plastic. And coming blowing up the goddamn thing. Stig is pretty experienced in this kind of game. Yeah, apparently he is. Are cargo wagons disabled as well? No, I don't. No, they're not. This is interesting because that means you could actually build cargo wagons. It's kind of an expensive way of doing it because you first need to build tracks, but sure. I mean, this is also being cleverly using the mechanics here. Seems like people are using chests. Chests? Yes, they're using chests. There was one of the goodie bags that included 10 chests, plus all of the goodie bags included chest that is usable. I'm not particularly a fan of this. If you're just putting in here, I would much rather use these basic ones instead of using precious chests, because they don't know if they get more chests. So getting those, this one is pretty good. It is also increasing here. Harry Muppet has lost a lot of steam lately. Stig is also, and Sherwood is keeping up. Let's have a look at what Pressure is up to. Ah, you're so building this part, and this is the interesting part. Building exactly this. One of the key points here is if you build something like this and you want to split this line, then you can take this one, flip it so it goes straight out, make a splitter, and then loop it back in. That is gonna work. So it is possible to, even though you have a line, to actually split it off again. It is possible. It's not pretty, but it works. This one might be something you want to put in a chest just to make sure that it keeps up. Okay, this is good. This is good. Everything here is pretty good. I think power-wise, oh, I can't see the power. It looks fine, but I can't see. Oh, here I can see it. It consumes 10, so it's about 1/3 of the power usage. And Sherwood is, I still think there's missing some scale, but again here, this is, isn't it a bit peculiar that we are having exactly the same in different locations? This thing is exactly the same as, where was it? Here. This one I also like. I also like this one if actually it worked. But basically, you need to flip this one. This is really Scrumpy Joe is surely living up to his name at least. Yeah, that's... Then doesn't seem to impact the total score. What? I think it does. This is a net, so if your entire base is standing still, as long as you're producing, for example here, there's a lot of production still ongoing, and Jared is continue to build this. I really think a lot of this is simply keep things rolling, and this is brilliant way of splitting things off, and you just need one more. Just keep going. One more. It's also hard to see through what you're building. A lot of things will be built. Ah, this looks like someone was doing some liberal use of deconstruction mechanics here. Great tracer, so it did come in handy. Anyone else? Yeah, Grumpy did use his... So this is... Look at the bottom right of the video stream. Yeah, and this is the point. You can see the rules are at the lower right hand corner of the stream. It is not possible to do deconstruction. There are no underground belts. There are no chests. At least you can't produce them. You can get them in goodie bags. You get goodies every 15 minutes. And the guns don't work. Grenades do, but guns don't work. See if there's anything else. Great use of grenades. Yes. And here as well, this is... I think a lot of things are just built and it bent. Oh, that's an interesting one. Ammo. Is ammo particularly useful? It's not a good value, but if you have a lot of iron that you can't use, then I guess 4 of these. I think it's better. I would rather produce steel than this. What about... Would it be worth it making piercing rounds? It could be worth it. It's a 20% gain in production value, and it consumes a lot of things as well. Lots of copper and iron. I think that's good. So rule number 3, grenades do work. I don't want to... I just think grenades do... All the things do work. No reason to mention that. Ren is still a bit struggling on the scale of things, but has a nice space here. And this one's going... So we go to the green signs up here. Nope, not that way. Go this way. Oh, there we go. Here, and go in. Go up here and into these. Interesting. So it looks like science is not enabled. And here we start the next production facility. I feel like the oil with a ton of tanks would be great. I think you are absolutely correct, because oil also has the distinct advantage that you have actually the capability to make underground pipes. At least one player has discovered that underground pipes work. Grumpy Joe, I don't know if that's worth... seems to be a bit of a stall back and forth here. I think he's making grenades. Yes. Iron and coal. The only thing that you need iron and coal for is more grenades. Let's look at Harry Muppet. Has this nice base. First one to figure out a way to do this. I really like this. Of course not the most efficient, but it looks really cool. What is the value of solid fuel? Let's have a look. Solid fuel is... It's not that much actually, 12.4, but the great thing about solid fuel is that it is persistent. So once you create it, it's done. But do you want to use it for fuel then? Don't know. What about this one? This is less... See, this one is not a good one. Making solid fuel out of petroleum, I was about to say methanol, is... This one also is really bad from the heavy fuel. But I think in this case, I don't know if this is worth... Oh, this is worth it. Yes, definitely. So you get the crude oil, and then you convert it. Get tons and tons of value. And then just store it. Or even destroy it. Doesn't matter. But oil, I think, is going to be a big point maker for everyone when they get around to it. Okay, so Harry Muppet is again starting up on production. Okay. Oh, I guess this is for steel since it has this setup. All right. That would make sense. But you're gonna have trouble getting power in somewhere. Or maybe this was an error. Do not know. Alright, forgot to drink something, so let's grab something to drink. Cheers, everyone. Hope you're enjoying the show. I can see we're at around 365 viewers, so one per day of the year. I'm very happy that you are tuning in today. I think that once we say cheers and come back. The biters, yeah, the whole point of the guns don't work is because you can't use them for destroying things. We considered it. Why am I not moving? There we go. All right, so now I will post. If you're interested in this scenario, if you dare to be on screen and be scrutinized for how you will deal with an unknown challenge, then you're... Oh, look for solutions elsewhere. There's another solution. Oh, he's not even found them. What? Harry Muppet, you didn't even... Oh my god, I didn't even notice this. Harry Muppet is here and has not even discovered these as well. Wow, that is a major setback for him. I did not even consider that. He had not found those yet. There are 3. He found this one, but not that, not that. Let's see if we can find in one of the other bases where it is. Okay, so you're building a radar and a dodgy way to it. There? No. I'm just trying to look in the bases for one blue dot. Somewhere there shouldn't be a blue dot. Oil processing. There. Okay, so that's where it is. Really? Okay, so that's been discovered. That one's been discovered. Has no one... Who has not discovered it? What? I can't find it. I would like to find what's in the chest. If that one? Oh, that's the previous one. So Matt did not discover the previous one. Has he discovered the latest one? And here. There we go. So that's what you get this time. You get better robots, or more robots, and better power armor. I think there are also legs in this power armor, so that's quite handy. Gives that point for him though. Grumpy Joe giving up and making grenades. Yeah, the interesting thing is just something as simple as making grenades is actually... Can you build a car and deconstruct by ramming? Yes, you can do that. That is also an option. Wow, this is a great way to destroy a lot of points. But of course, I mean, I think there's a misconception here, because by science is actually destroying points. Of course, this is reason why Stig is not doing so well right now. So Sherwood and Stig, Sherwood and Pressor are neck and neck at this point. This is really cool to see how close they are. And they're just so damn close. I think what we really need to look at is who will be the first one to go into the oil part. I think there's a lot of people. Okay, this is great. Keep emptying these out. That's very important. And then put them in here. Put them in here. Matt is... It's at a decent production. Someone will try to use car as storage. And that's a great idea again. I mean... I did see, who was it researching engines? That is Stig is starting to research engines. But I think it's also very difficult when you're in the game to just take that step back and look at, all right, so what else could I do? Because you're so focused on, I mean, placing inserters correctly so you don't have to redo some silly things that, for example, like this one. That you might not be able to consider things like, I don't have chests, so what else do I have? I could use a train wagon, I could use a car, I could use a tank. Not that it's really relevant at this point. Science may destroy points, but what is he researching? Yes, exactly. Of course you need to research something to get to the point where you want to go. And it's not a ton of point. If you look at green science, for example, green science, and hello, Julie. If we look at this one, let's see. So you're destroying 65 points. That's, let's say, it's 7,000 points you destroy when you research something 100 science, right? It's something, yeah, but it's not, oops, automation 2, not totally critical. Harry Muppet has still not found the very essential parts. This is also about being blind to the challenges, and this is actually what we saw last time as well, that if you are not actually focusing on what is the challenge about, then you may end up doing. But I mean, this is very, very nice design. This is very, very nice. I really like it. I'm thoroughly impressed by it. There's a bit of misclicking here, but that's bound to happen. But I really like how he just built it in one setting, just like that. Figured out, all right, I'm going to build this. This goes in, this goes there, here, and it works. I would definitely build more of them here. Definitely build more. Don't you have a production for that? No, nope, not yet. This is also like a big storage. It's a bit silly because it just spend a lot, but it's good when you come down here and just pick up. But I think this is again because not discovered the look elsewhere chests. Did you discover the latest chest? Oh, maybe that's actually placed at a location where it is not reachable. I don't know. Advanced material processing. That's the steel. No, that's, what is it at? Advanced material processing. Can see how much something is worth. Yes, they have this recipe calculator, as I do. Right. Plastic, what is it worth? Not much. And what else can they make? So now we have Tracer is really in the lead. Tracer and Matt P is in the lead. Let's have a look at Matt, our very, very aggressive chatter. Wow, solar panels. Have I something I haven't seen? Is solar panels, that's worth a lot of money, but also quite expensive. But I like it. I like this way of thinking, of just basically saying, all right, screw it. I need somewhere that I can produce stuff. And then with the stuff I produce, I just produce something that takes a long time, but generates a lot of points. I like it because I can just go around picking these up. I like it. Yeah. So spamming things in. That's why he's actually keeping up at 6,000 by doing these manual actions. I like it. Let's have a look at Tracer. What Tracer is up to. Tracer, I have lost Tracer. There we go. Tracer is picked up some stone and is building a stone deposit. This one is something I think is totally underestimated. Here, just if you're not gonna use all of this production, just spam down 1,000,000 of these, even to the point of just making with blueprints, because they don't cost anything. And once in a while, you just put some coal in it, and that's fine. How much is red circuit worth? Oh, red circuit. I think that's a kind of unrealistic to get in this point. It's an increase of 21, so it's a decent chunk of change. I like that, but it's totally not worth it. But yeah, I love the path. Points for the path. Not a lot of points, actually negative points because you consume it, or maybe you just place it. You don't consume it. Things that get destroyed are not being lost. It's only when it's been consumed. Yes, don't look at my steel smelting, please. What? I like it. I think it's awesome. I mean, yeah, they're missing a few long-handed inserters. Probably shouldn't be built quite this close. I think it would be easier if you built 2 and then leave a space, build 2, leave a space. It'll be a lot easier to make it correctly. Also, you should remember that you only need to build one of them correctly, and the rest should be built with robots, because then you build it accurately. Right, point for locomotive. Locomotive, yeah, locomotive is also a good point, because just building it consumes a lot of materials, and there it is. It's very efficient, but the problem is the engine units. But I think engine units in itself is one of the really valuables. It doesn't use much, but it actually has a lot of materials here. Stig is using advanced electronics. Oops, I wanted to get that one away, not just press this. There we go. All right, let's have a look. So Stig is still in the lead and still expanding his lead. It's actually at a point where I'm not gonna say it's impossible to catch up, but he needs to be doing something wrong to lose. And if we look at production facility, then Harry Muppet is actually, and that's primarily because of the steel production, the somewhat automated steel production, and this interesting belt-based belt storage. Ah, this is cool. I don't know what it does, but oh, this is not good. It looks better than it is. I don't know. It looks cool to have a loop like this, but it doesn't quite work. Time to blow up some trains. I don't know what. Ah, look at this. This might actually be. I don't know if it's working towards trains, but underground belts. And okay, so it's quite clear that Harry Muppet is working towards using the oil for something. Grumpy Joe. Well, we'll just let Grumpy Joe do what Grumpy Joe does best. Stockpile iron. He's not out of it yet. If he hadn't blown up his base, he wouldn't actually been bad precision. And let's see. Ren is, yeah, still struggling with the scale. It's still that's still the major issue here. There are good designs, good ideas here, but just more of it. We want more of this, way more. And what else do we have? What else? Let's see. Tracer is. Wonder what this one. Ah, this is actually. I like this. So this is for building a lot of stone. And we got it. Actionable. Now you need these. And it's funny how no one is using the robots. You have robots. You actually have really good robots. You have lots of them. So build one thing and let the robots do the rest. I was actually expecting that once you get to this point, once you get a good design, you can just say, all right, give me more of this. I think, for example, something like this, you need to just build it all the way down. There's no point in not doing it because you're basically saying, well, once it fills up here, it just continues. But belt storage, what is it you want with this belt storage? This challenge is messing with my mind. I was typing into chat, made a typo, and was afraid I can't delete what. And yeah, that's that's problematic. I actually also played some of my Angels Mount tutorial right after I did some testing on this one. And then I was like, oh, damn it, I built the wrong one. I was like, oh, well, I can actually do it. Among many design elements that I picked up and adapted from various vid stream, my bases always have Nilaus paths in them now. Awesome, Findel, that is awesome, and you are worthy of the order of the path. See, this is an extremely easy way to make underground belts. Very, very clean-ish. It works. And I think if we really get down to it, that is the simplest way to solve this problem. That was Tracer. Tracer is doing okay, but not really catching up. And Harry Muppet is also doing quite well. Pressor has lost steam. Let's have a look at, maybe he's doing some big designs. Or, okay, so it's mainly because of the focus on science, which in and of itself is going to be constraining. And at least figure out that you can turn the belts. This is excellent. You get all this and starting to research. So we're 2 minutes away from the next. I'm pretty sure, I'm just check for myself what's going to be in the next one. Okay, yeah, that's going to be a nice one. Yep. I think the next. He's getting up there with points. Yes, absolutely. Let's have a look at what kind of shenanigans he's pulling. This is very, very nice. And I think that everyone who finds the next chest and who actually goes looking for it will be extremely happy. This one is going to be a steel production, but you're going to have a problem with fueling, aren't you? Don't know. Maybe he has thought about it. Oh, use the damn robot ports. Come on, you got it for the same. This is so risky. But, I mean, kudos on you for not messing it up yet. But use the roboports. You have it. You just built one of them correct and you stamp it down. Maybe they're so worried about it. Or let's see. Is it because you have not discovered that one yet? Oh, that's why. Hello. You should get that one. It's so close to you. What is about this one? Oh, that's the deconstruction planner. Let's call it that. This one is still. I'm really impressed by this one. This is really clever way of solving it. On something valuable. Yeah, there's something valuable. I don't know. Don't know what that something valuable actually is. I think it's simply the fact that all of it is running, or most of it is running. You have 2 iron belts here, and they're working. And it's basically consuming everything. Some of it going to science, but the science is not really. Pressure is going for concrete. That's interesting. That's a exterminator way. And here we go. Okay, so we are about halfway through. Here we go. Now we get look elsewhere for solutions. Is that the one? Oh, look at this one. Look at the goodies they get now. These are very valuable and will make life a lot easier for them now. I did not know if they would be at red belts at this point, but it's going to be really handy to get this. And also the amount makes it a lot more valuable. Also, it's steel chests and not iron chests, so they can take up a lot of storage. At this point, Stig seems to be quite significantly in lead and head and shoulders about everyone else. Very nice. It's going to be hard to catch him, but the point here is if you do not see this one versus someone who sees it and utilizes this efficiently, then this is going to win, because Stig will be unable to stockpile all of the stuff. Well, this one is pretty much full, isn't it? 2.4, that's the maximum. This one can keep going. This one can also keep going. Wow, there's a lot. Wow. Yeah, this is also points. This is just points. Simply the fact that this belt is full and it keep going. Wait, rules? No chests, but they use chests. Yes, you cannot produce chests, but you can get them in goodie bags delivered by the friendly moderators. Oh, that's a small location there. Friendly moderators who just want all the best for everyone. So let's have a look. Oh, look at the beauty of this. We completely missed this. This is amazing. Here Muppet is starting to use some oil. That's excellent. And then with fluid handling, you can actually build chests, because that is. Ooh, be careful. Careful now. Ooh, this is awesome, because you have the coal right here. This is very, very nice. This could be a lot of points coming in here. Let's see, has everyone found their latest chests? No, you haven't found any chests. And okay, Grumpy is radaring away. And let's see, where's the last chest? We did find it somewhere. Where was it? Where did we find it? I think this should be the same location. Oh, it's all the way down there, down by the coal location. Oh, it's not in the same location. What? Really? No, it's... What? I thought it was in the same location. Can one of the map makers confirm something to me? Is it not in the same location for all players? I think it should be. No, it's not in the same. But it's the same distance away from it. Ah, okay. It's the same distance away, I would guess. Some are provided they cannot be made, but they got a few. Okay, let's see. Sherwood is out there in the wild looking for stuff. The easiest way to find it is simply looking at the minimap, just the back dots, because if you look at it here, this is not easy to find. But the dot on the map is much, much easier. Okay, still, let's see. Do you get it? Do you get it? Oh, yes. There we go. Oh, it's one happy camper here. There's another one not being picked up. Who is that? Tracer hasn't found his yet. Rin has probably not found his either. Maybe, maybe not. I'm looking forward to see how Harry Muppet is working on it. It's not. I was actually expecting this one to get really high. We can also see Stig has been declining, and the reason why yeah, almost the same per chest. Yeah. Stick is no longer declining, and that's probably because his production is starting to stall somewhere. See, these are stalling. And wow, this is nice. Oh, this is really cool way of doing it. So that goes in here, and only when this belt is completely full. This is very nicely made, and it's completely designed. And what is more impressive is that all of these inserters are placed manually. Not a single one. Now we're gonna see Stig just really getting up there. And we need this belt to stockpile before that one even starts. It's a bit of a shame that it's done that way, but that's a temporary thing. Let's change to oil processing. Rin is going for oil processing. And Tracer is also going towards oil processing. Have to discuss it with the others. I think the previous was provided as a scenario publicly. What, do grains blow up buildings? Yes, they do. Grains is the way to do cleanup of the base. And then we are starting to get some... Okay, when this one fills up all the way, then it'll start going in there, and then we can start seeing some really good production. Dig is already getting up there to the 9,000 again, and will be in 10,000 and more very soon. Regarding whether this scenario will be made public, I think that we might have plans to run it on the server, but it's run more events so you can play it yourself. We are a bit cautious about giving it out to everyone, but that's not really been decided. Yeah, I think it's really just crushing it here, that's for sure. And with that one, this is great design all the way through. I'm really impressed by how this is done. And this one is also just built nice and neat, easy lines, not so much shenanigans, and just using more and more of this one, and then can even start working on next. And this is even considering the fact that he does not even have this one goodie bag, and not even that one either. There's so many goodies out there that you are not aware of, and he doesn't even need it. Oops. Killed my live chat. Say something in chat. I'm not sure I have it. Okay, anyway, I will now, since we are more than halfway, I will say, if you're interested in going on stream and competing in a future scenario and compete for the reward, then there is actually the sign up for the next event is available. Let's see if this one works. Come on, Nightbot. Does it work? What works? Registration for the next event. Yay! So, if you want to sign up for the event, now is the first time I publish this link. So if you want to sign up, I am going to be completely honest. I'm going to give priority to my supporters. This is one of the few perks that there are for supporting me and my channel. And therefore the supporters will be here. Look at Matt is up to 7,000 just by this manual insertion and making these. Do you have placed? Have you placed anyone? No, not placed any yet. This is good. I like this. It is not as bad of an idea as it may seem. Maybe that's because of the competition. All right, goodbye, Matt. Didn't want it anymore. That was interesting. Let's see if there is any. Let's see, where do we have some... Okay, this is a really cool setup as well. And I think the great thing about this setup is that it's now been built by robots. Meaning that once you build one of them correct, it'll all be correct. And, now I can see the point. This is about making steel. Cool. I like it. I think this is a nice way of just making sure that it works. All right, so yeah, so I think it's important that we also emphasize that this is supposed to be challenging. Yeah, Doom challenge. Yes, that might be it. That might just be it. Um, it might be a different scenario next time because that one we're looking at might be a bit tough to make with the time we have available. But it's definitely one of those scenarios we're working on. And let's see, where do we have Stig? Because this one is really working now. It is really awesome. 17,000, doing pretty well, and this is simply because the steel is up and running. And this one is just continue to work. The fact that just building more and more of these, they have absolutely no value except from a points perspective. Also, science is stopped. I think that might be okay to stop the science, especially if we consider it's still not even found. You could be doing so much better if you just looked at the scenario. Yeah, what do we have here? Oh, I like this. What is this magic? This is awesome. This looks like red signs. Wow. Oh, red circuits. Here Muppet is, it's not generating as much points, but I think the reason why it's not generating so much points is because everything else is standing still. I think that's really the core of this. Where do we have some, do we have the, yeah, that's still not even found. Oh my god, you haven't even found the first one. Oh, you are really making it tougher on yourself. It is such a critical, oh, there they are. They're actually in a bit tough positions, but that, and you have not found any of the good stuff. Okay, so Harry Muppet, I think you could be doing a lot better if you had found stuff. Okay, here. Oh, it's a long belt. But this one, I have a feeling that it should be producing more. Oh no, this is not good. This is not good. The reason why I'm saying it's not good is exactly, and this is the reason. Boom. No, this one. This is destroying points en masse. It is so many points, so much that's being destroyed here. It's such a shame because that is it's just the assumption that you built something more advanced and you get more points. But that's actually a bit of a trap. The heavy oil to solid fuel. This one is being fine. Oh no, Harry Muppet is being dropped from the game. Oh no. Come on, don't drop. There we go. And let's see, Yamat, he gave up. That was unfortunate. Ooh, look at this. Robots are building. This is what I like to see. And especially Pressor is also just finally getting the steel up and running. Steel makes such a difference when you get that up and running. I think there could be room for more. I would definitely say just build steel way bigger. But that might also be the whole point here. To say, all right, that's going to go there. I like it. It's better to turn those into petrol than solid fuel. Yes, but you have to remember that science-wise, this science requires blue. This advanced oil processing requires blue science, and no one has blue science. So at this point, it's this one. I mean, heavy oil cracking requires blue science. So maybe actually making it into lubricant would be very valuable. So taking the heavy oil and making it into lubricant and not doing anything about it, just poof, doing it. Who determines these production value? The devs have created the production values for us. I think there might be some formula about it because it seems to be taking the inputs and then generating some kind of surplus. This is also a nice thing if you don't need any more of this and you know you have your grenades, then you can just spam this entire thing full of coal and just rake in some points once in a while. Now you can't even pick it up because then you get full inventory. This is good. I like this one. Great Sherwood. I liked it. And I think you could have built it a bit closer, a bit tighter here by putting the power poles in here. But, well, what's done is done. And then just spam it down over all of this area. And then just once in a while come by, make it, place it, be done with it. But a Stig is more than twice the nearest what is it, competitor. So that's his oil cracking. I really take oil cracking for granted. Further research. Yes, it is. Can tanks? liquid be crafted? Yes, they can. Tanks can be crafted, but there might be someone who does not assume or assumes that it cannot be. Oh, there's a bit of deconstruction going on over here. Tracer. And let's see, what else do we have? Okay, Ren is also getting started on the oil. I think oil is a good step, but it's really hard to compete with what Stig has been working. I think the difference here is Stig has been building something that just runs and produces a lot. And I think that is of course the key to a production challenge, building big. And well, Grumpy is not doing so much. But still, he's in it. Matt P still producing, but not much. We have up here, Harry Muppet. Have you discovered some of? No, you have not even discovered this one. So you're still just blindly staring at something. And I think, considering how this is not being okay, what are you gonna build out of steel? Oh, engines. I love the idea of engines. I think engines are incredibly powerful. But still, the concept here is like, wow, you're making it really hard on yourself by not... Oh, did we... Hey, hold on. Look for solutions elsewhere. We did get another one. Wherever did we get it? So we got a new one, and that is going to be an interesting one. Well, they're all interesting. I don't know if I want to look there. Let's see, where could it be? Where could it be? It should... Oh, there, maybe. There we go. This is the next one. 100 solar panels and 100 accumulators. My calculation or estimation at this point, it was basically like, okay, you might be running out of coal, or you might want to save some coal. So there you go. You get some production capabilities here. So you can now just say, all right, stamp it down, be done with it, don't care. Researching modules, that's interesting. Researching modules? Modules? I have not even considered if modules are worth anything. They're worth a lot, but also they are quite expensive. It looks like every time you increase something, it might be the same ratio. It might be like, I don't know, 20% or something you get from combining things. And it's always every path is, or every transition is 20% or something along the lines. Sherwood is somewhere here. What are you working on? What's your moneymaker at this point? So the moneymaker here is the fact that things are moving, and we have all the steel chests. So Sherwood is actually using all the production that we've given, or is putting the goodie bags into use, and that makes a difference because you can see here. This is what you get, and now it can start working on the next tier of items. Okay, let's see. Well, really, it's based upon the default Factorio production score. It's readable in the Lua script, but it uses some magic for it. Yeah, some magic. Military 2. I wonder what Military 2 can bring to the table. Military 2, is that where we get grenades? That might actually... Military 2 is grenades, yeah. So if you want grenades... Are these maps developed by the community or by devs? They are created by the community. They're created by Vitoli and Timbo and Subrigai. They've made these community maps. So that's really, really, really awesome work, and just a tremendous amount of effort that's put into this. And therefore, I think it's fun to see. It's fun to see how these challenges are broken down, because this challenge is a lot harder than you'd think. You can see by Matt and Grumpy Joe, they are, yeah, not really. Maybe we don't know who else might be really frustrated with it, but first of all, it is definitely not impossible, and it requires that you do not just copy what you've built before, but you are actually thinking and coming up with new solutions to old problems. So yeah, go Grumpy, make those grenades. Yeah, the grenades, they're actually making better money. But Stig is just pulling away. Really, really impressive. Let's have a look back at the Stig here. It must also be really frustrating when you look at for example, from Sherwood's perspective. He's like, all right, I'm doing great, but What is he doing so much better? That's the interesting part. Let's have a look. So we are also getting oil. And here we go. There's some interesting productivity modules. I don't know what you want productivity modules for. I mean, that's free money, of course, but still. Wow, what? Huh. Oops. Oops. Okay, you saved it. Huh, close. Whoa. What? Okay. Use the robots. Oh, I don't even know that you have robots accessible. Oh yeah, I think you found it. You did find some of the stuff. Let's see. And not the one that matters the most, but you did find something. Right? Did you find... Yeah, you found some underground belts here. I'd like to get some... Oh, we should get some... we should get a winner's interview. If available. I think at this point it's highly likely who will win this one. It's going to be a tough mountain to climb to close this gap. That's for sure. Wow, this is so courageous to do this without... It's very accurate, right? What? Okay, you know what you're doing. That's for sure. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. What is it you are making? What is it you're doing here? Oh, right. Okay. So the whole point here is these ones will be the cracking one that he expects to get, but these one will just produce the remaining. So this one will keep producing. I like the idea. I think it could be a lot simpler and get pretty much the same result. I see the production score. It's as long as this one is working in the iron chest here, that one is working. Goes down here, comes in. Yeah. And that one's still working. That's continue for quite a while. This is also something when you have so few chests, then it's worth considering what stacks a whole lot. Spawns and biters. Yeah, I think that's unfair. We did say no biters. He's trying to launch rockets now. Yes, I think he's launching rockets. Do you know how much work it is in 1 week? 2 weeks is almost impossible. What? I just can't see every Thursday. I like a lot. Yeah, we're doing this every 2 weeks, and at some point we might start recycling some of these parts, or basically, I'm imagining a point where we have maybe 10 scenarios, and then mixing and matching those 10 scenarios is then easy to do, but can generate vastly different. Just from last time to this time, the fact that, for example, we now have a start button is incredibly powerful and something we can just copy paste into the next scenario. And let's see. And the fuel is working perfectly fine. No one has actually used the latest goodie bag. Let's say we should be able to see that quite easily. Oh, there it is. That's the latest goodie bag. Basically just saying, yep, power solved. And Stig is working on advanced oil processing. How can you work on advanced oil processing? Do you have blue science? Am I just missing something here? No, you don't even have red circuits. Don't even have. Okay. Not very nice of me to say this. Huh. No, it doesn't. So you can't really get this advanced circuit anytime soon. You did say no worms. Need a Brave New World mod challenge. Yeah, that actually is interesting. Launch a grenade-powered rocket. He might try to do that. We don't know what he's still working on it. It's interesting because he's chugging along, and he should just not have destroyed his base in rage quit in frustration, but actually just move on. Let's have a look at what pressure is up to, because we haven't looked at this base for quite a while actually. Since he got the steel up and running, the steel is working quite nicely at this point. And it's just being... Oh, that's an interesting... What is this being made into? Do we have other production facilities? No, this is the base at this point. So it's working on red and green signs, and that's it. So there's also a lot of production here, but I don't see a lot of tech, and it doesn't look like oil is on the agenda at this point. It could, of course, be deconstructed with the deconstruction. Let's see, have you found your goodie bags? Looks like you have. Actually, we could see if you have any undergrounds. Nope, there's an acute lack of undergrounds being used. Also here, there's not really any undergrounds. I think it's very, very smooth. Okay, there's a few of the normal ones, but not any of the good undergrounds. The new undergrounds, let's see, where could that be? It is in here somewhere. Might also be really close to the base. No, it shouldn't be close to the base. It should be really far out. Fluid handling? Fluid handling is very important. Yeah, Matt has abandoned us. I'm sure that the chat is completely full in Discord when we get back to it. Sherwood is boosting forward, but then got stuck. So maybe that's because we're in a design phase right now. Grumpy, what are you grumping about? You're making stuff. It's making you're ready for an army. That's for sure. Okay, so are these challenges made mods publicly somewhere? No, they're not public at this point. We may want to. Oh, come on, Harry Muppet. We don't want you to. Oh, that's good. At the bottom-ish of the base there. Okay, good. All right, we are not going to make them publicly available just like that. We might host some games, but it's again a bit. Can you reveal if players found all rules, or are there still something hidden? Let's see. I think they have found pretty much all the rules, which is also what we want, because we want it to be. Well, now there's 1 hour left, but there's still some goodies left that will be useful moving forward for the last stretch here, the home stretch, where they really should be able to. If we add too many new rules in the late stage, it should be a learning part where they learn the rules and then apply what they've learned into building a base according to the rules. I think that's really important for us. Anyone who joins them gets the code. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they misboxing themselves in. Yep. Then we had the tools for that. Yeah, 3 RA Gaming. That's also why we may have to. Oh, okay. I like this one. This is so nice, and this is like the cleanest way. If this is some of the things, this is the reason why we don't want to change the rules too much at the end, because now Sherwood has figured out that this is the way to build the location where how you get something in the middle and coal on either side, right? That's how you get that. I don't know what this is for, but and building is excellent. And let's see, yeah, that goes in here. This one can go, then just need to go around. Up, yes. Go. Oh, you lost enough. Okay. Ding, ding, ding. It's building in real time. Now you just need the stuff, so your robots will start building. This one has stopped working for now. But we see Pressor and Harry Muppet. And now Harry Muppet has actually overtaken Sherwood and actually has overtaken. Oh, they're just neck and neck. Harry Muppet, come on, where are we? Pressor. I like the fact that there's such a big competition for third place. Tracer is not far behind, but it is quite clear that Stig is just doing better than any of the other ones. I was found the forced distribution of scenarios to be a little odd. What are the rules this time? Unfortunately, missed the first 2 hours. You can see in the lower right-hand corner, these are the rules that the players have discovered and started research on plastic. We have 1 minute until we get the next goodie bag. Let's see, Tracer is working on a design here. That's why things have kind of slowed down a bit. It's a battle for the second place. Yes, this is a battle for the second place. I am going to basically we'll say that whoever wins will be available, will be always get a spot for the next one. Whether we want to say number 1 and number 2 will always get a spot. It's a bit tricky because there are only 8 slots and we only do it every other week. So it will be a bit hard to do that. Let's see. Do we have... I'm also going to just take a look. Hold on. Just opening other stuff. Oh. I'm just going to look at the form we have. And edit responses. Do we get any responses? How is it that Elandilo is always the first one to register? That's interesting. We should just, I'll just post it again. The sign up, if you are willing and dare to sign up for a future event. Oh, there we go. There's a look for solutions elsewhere. Oops. If you dare to sign up for this, and remember, there's a nice price of $50 for the winner. Oh, is that the one? Yes, it is. This is what we get this time. So for some people, it will be a bit redundant because they've already built it, but for other players this will be exactly the time and place when they need this. So that's why just basically saying, hey, if you haven't started the oil, this might be what you need to get started on the oil. I am slightly disappointed that people are not just rushing out to get it. They should be pretty decent. I mean, okay, there's this one is also built. Fine. Okay, so for example, with the solar panels are here. Sherwood hasn't found the solar panels yet. That's a bit of a shame. Where is it? It's there. There it is. And the other one is here. Okay, so they're actually, in his case, in a rather unfortunate, because everyone seems to be building here. You've also got out into that field here. This one. Okay, I'm going to the bowling center to see how my workers are doing. Have fun here, and what a great chance. Thank you very much, and you just get them back into action. I suppose you can't remove them, but if you have a section that you know you're not going to build on, won't be blocking the path. Okay, highlights include chests, and underneath these power armor with roboports. And maybe legs. Yeah, also legs. And bots and deconstruction planner chest. Not deconstruction planner. Yeah, okay, the grenade here. Is there doing a little interview with the participant after the challenge? Maybe like 5 questions or some such. Yes, I have considered it. And I've only considered it while we were playing last time. So I will be, when we're ending this this episode, I will have I would like to have an interview with the winner. But it's something I have not... Yeah, loud goodies alarm needed. I think that's a really good point, that we should set up some kind of warning, sound when we do goodie bags. Let's see here. Okay, so what is Tracer doing? He's looking at things being crafted. And what else? What else? What else? Grumpy is still around. Nope, he's hiding behind a tree. And still something. He's not in the last place. That's good. We need to get... Matt is actually quite a bit ahead, actually. And Harry Muppet is moving forward. Let's see, have a look with the Harry Muppet. I think that it's such a shame with Harry Muppet that he has not discovered some of those... where are they? These ones. Even the basic one. It made such a big difference. Such a big difference for this one. And I genuinely think that if Harry Muppet had these to begin with, it would have been a different game. Also, just going out there finding these, that's because there are some pretty good designs here. And again, oil is doing great, plastic is doing great. I think the plastic is really just making it. This one is a bit unfortunate because it's actually losing points. If that was not being done, but instead converted into lubricant and just boxed, that would be really nice. And again, the interesting thing here is, why is this not... why not keep it here and then put it into tanks? Maybe it's because there's an expectation that tanks are going to be disabled because chests are disabled, but they're not. Here, this is really, really cool. All of these engines, I think engines are really creating a lot of value. And look, blue signs. Wow. Is blue signs in and of itself worth a lot? Plus 71. Yeah, it's also a great storage, I would say. What is it we're missing here? We are missing... those. Okay. Yeah, they're a bit tough, but they need a lot of iron. So it is going back and increasing the iron production. Which is not... Okay, this is actually what Harry Muppet is working on now. Ilindiro has got seen this challenge, I was just scared as well. Just play the biters are destroying stuff sound. That makes everyone freak out. Yeah, that's true. Or... yeah, I don't know. It would probably be like an achievement or some other sound. It's a good idea. We need to continue to work on it. Remember, this is only the second time we're doing this, and already we are. I think we're establishing a sort of modus operandi and a way of working, and that's an interesting storage here. Playing Snake. Grumpy Joe from advancement to shooting speed 1. Great. Yes, shooting. Air Muppet has some interesting designs. This one is exactly what is needed. This is really cool because except for not having enough, because this is the bottleneck here. Basically, what he is doing is producing higher and higher level tech, like this one. Always being able to produce this is excellent and an interesting way of moving things up. But I like this way of moving things up because it allows this one, the iron, to keep going if need be. But we need more in here. And okay, they're coming in. Not enough. And they're going to be put in here. Excellent. I like it. I like it. It's very good. This is kind of I don't know, not desperate, but just getting in there. Or you could also just explode it and rebuild it. That's also an option. But Harry Muppet is pretty close to Stick, and this is completely without any underground belts. Wow, that is... when he looks at the replay and figures out that this is the key, and the irony is, he's been building all the way around it. Even if you're standing here, don't you actually see this? I don't know. What are goodies? Goodies are the things that respawn every 15 minutes of the challenge. And they are the ones that make it easier. So for example, we disable chests and underground belts, but we do provide, in this case, after 15 minutes, I think, or was half an hour, we are delivering 10 of each, which makes it a lot easier because you can start actually applying it to different locations. And then we provide a lot of other things. There's also here some power armor. There's some more steel chests and fast underground belts. Well, if one can get to modules, I feel it would be GG. They're super expensive and really ramp up your production. And are also not consumed when used. I don't know. It's also a lot of production. I think all the production going in there might also just be easier to put into other things. What do we have here? We are having plastic production. What is this being used for? Nothing yet. Oh, you're also making that. And we have red signs. And red signs, okay, we're working into blue signs now. And what are we missing? We're missing... How are these working? Oh, right. Oh, this is so brilliant. Look, they have basically 100 of each, or 50 of each. They have one stack of each because they have been produced all throughout the game. There's still 100 left. So even though they're just produced by one single unit, the fact that they've been produced for so long time means that it's just stamp it in, move on, blue circuits, done. We're above 1 million. For Stieg is at the 1 million mark, but at this point has somehow slowed completely. I guess this is because it's because of consuming the blue signs. I wonder what's being researched. Let's see. Where do we have it? Professor Grumpy Joe. Oh, it's been a while, so he hasn't been researching at all since he switched to advanced processing, advanced oil processing. That's what he wants. So he wants advanced oil processing in order to continue. I think that's interesting. It comes with a tutorial on the scenarios, PvP. Yes. Are castings enabled as storage or rail wagons? They are all enabled, but no one has even done it. I was actually considering at some point to give a car, and that could be used both as a chest. But then I thought, nah, people can find out themselves. But for example, here the easiest thing in the world would be just grabbing some of those. They are being produced here. I think there are some really clean builds here. I think this is, it seems almost like practiced for Steak here, because by just using this for points in the early game and then converting it into blue science, which of course is being used, but which is the reason why it's lagging so much. But Harry Muppet is working really well. Let's see if Harry Muppet is, we're going to follow the ones in Elite, and you still haven't found these. This is a neat way of solving the crossing here. I like it. It's of course not as, it could be faster, but it's good. I like it. And that goes more here. So this is all about increasing the amount of miners being produced so that they can go in and produce more blue science. And I think he's looking at it and saying, yep, this is a good move. This is 18,000. This is really cool. It's like he's playing the, yeah, it is actually like he's been playing the game before. Is Vitoli here? Maybe he's been around. Maybe it's a pseudonym for someone who has been working. And we'll just also, yeah, of course he may have production PvP, but still, what I like, if we just look at it, it's not just, it's about like this one. This is not how you would build it in a production PvP. The fact that you accumulate these here and consume them here, that might be something you could use for a production PvP challenge. But it's so much more valuable because you don't have underneath these and you can't just easily transport them or make a bus. Because making a bus here would be very detrimental. It's also kind of one of the points here is that making a bus as in the default thing, yeah, making a bus with default thing, you would use way too many underground belts, and that's not possible. And I think that, yeah, he is. I've seen the name before. I think it's fine. It makes perfect sense. I also want to cultivate the idea that someone who gives up because it's a tough challenge, well, maybe this is not the challenge for you. I want this to be difficult, and I want to encourage people to say, hey, I think this is fun to try something new, and I don't mind just giving it a shot. Oh, this is interesting. This one, when they start filling up, then I'm not going to say it's going to be a problem, but it will, of course, need to be dealt with. This might be one of those cases where, since there's so much steel here, this is about finding something that you could put steel into in vast quantities. That would be, hey, is this one actually, that's not a lot of point, but I was just wondering, what would be a great place to just dump steel? Yeah, power poles. Yeah, power poles would be a great place to dump steel. What else could be? The tanks? Tanks are a bit too expensive. At least as a production thing. What else could be possible? What about lights? Are they worthwhile? No, not really. Yeah, just something that uses a lot of steel. That might be, cargo wagons might be it. That could, it's not a lot. You put so much value in, and percentage wise it's not a big improvement. And anyone else here? I think this one might be more valuable. This is a good one. It's about 10% increase, and it uses some amount of steel. Cars? Nah, that's less than 10% increase. What about rails? Rails are actually not a bad investment. Laser turrets. What's the floor worth? I keep waiting for the biters to show up and ruin everything. No, I think that would be lying to everyone. The whole idea is that we want to give hints, and the hints should be should actually be correct. Of course, it should be correct because they are supposed to be hints. And if we give hints and then go the other way, then what's the point? Can't build those. What? Can't build what? What can you not build? Okay, just take something here. Objective? Oh, really? Did we disable the storage tanks? I did not know that. Oh, that's a shame. I've been keep thinking that we could make storage tanks. All right, so that explains a lot why people have been doing as they have been doing. Stig is still taking a big lead here. They're still on the second place. Harry Muppet is actually now pulling away from them, from the rest. Oh, look elsewhere for solutions. That is another spawn. Let's see. This is the third last one, or the second last one, maybe. Okay. This is something that is probably not going to be particularly useful for most people. That one. Yeah, this is Power Armor Mark II with lots of good legs in it, so you can move around easily, and you get tons of robots. It's mainly for the legs. It's very nice to get those legs and be more agile and nimble. Again, Stig has not gotten the underground belts. And not gotten this one. This would have been nice just to get those. What do we have here? Isn't this going to be jamming? Oh, okay. So these are okay. They have jammed now. So now this one will start jamming on the heavy oil. No, it's actually not, because now it's being converted. Nice. Very nice. And these ones will stop working. That's really cool. And all of this goes into plastic. Yeah, petroleum is now the constraint. So you need to consume more petroleum. I think it's also because some of it is just only being done on one side. And it's only being used here. I just think this one could easily be scaled up, but now there's kind of no more room for it. And the blue science is stopped because I think he's actually just stopping the science production. The no brush period has ended. That is interesting. Oh, good. Grumpy Joe has managed to make it out of his own domain. But we'll just write. So you can leave your own base, but you cannot enter anyone else's base. And that is a beautiful mess. All right, so let's say Rin is. I think Rin is really just struggling with the fact that it's built too small, but it's pretty cool. Could just mine outside, yeah. This one's okay. Let's see. Tracer is heading out. Where do you think you're going? Yeah. Well, you're gonna be surprised. Whoops. Whoops. Whoop. Whoop. Yep, you're not getting in there. This is not a PvP scenario, but it's fine. I mean, there was a slight chance that you could stand up here and maybe inflict some irrelevant damage on this area. I don't know, but if you really want that you could. Oh, electricity, sure it is. Sure it is running out of power. This is a good move, I think. Very good move. This is just basically just saying, all right, convert it into points. Sherwood here, convert into points. There's also a decent amount. Stig is still taking the lead. Some say that it is in a tree. Yeah. It's 3 hours. Didn't reset the timer when start round, I guess. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. We it started counting from the time the server went online instead of started counting from the time when it went the event started. That's also just things we need to learn. What are we looking at here? We're looking at pressure is making this is interesting. Making concrete and make wow, is that more valuable? This concrete? Really? Wow, this is interesting. So you're basically getting more concrete, more value from just making it into hazard concrete. This is actually a pretty good value. So here you get 52 points. It's a double up in value. This is one of those places where it really gets, and then you can even get more. But you have to remember to put it into a chest. Are you running out of chests? That's the last one. Or not the last one, the most recent one. That is not a torch. But it really, in order for this to make sense, really need to make sure that it continues to build. There we go. Yep. Actually, this was planned functionality to make the last bit more entertaining. Really? Again, if we say no PvP, we have to be honest about the things that we put in as hints. This is also a great way, just to make sure that you put it in, done. There you go. I probably wouldn't have the inbound one. Don't know though. It's definitely making for smaller bases, more abstract bases. Again, the lead is kind of unquestioned at this point. If only he refined it. Yes, exactly. If only he refined it. It definitely needs to be refined. It's really not worth much. This one again, you're making steel barrels for what? For putting into that one. But are you refining it? No, you're not. That's a shame. Is it because yeah, here we go. That one is still waiting. Sherwood has found some solar panels and placed it down. So that's free energy. That's very nice because that's exactly what he needed. He was running out of power before and now it is solved by the magical goodies. This one, I think it's really important. Concrete is quite valuable. Of course it is. We've seen Exterminator build concrete just whenever he can get around to it. So of course it must be a good idea. Good thing about concrete is that it doesn't need chests much. Yeah, I don't think you don't lose it if you stamp it down because it's not consumed. It's just placed, and placing things does not kill it. Let's go for the hairy muppet. Oh, that's Crumpy Joe. What is Crumpy Joe doing? He's building some interesting production. Hopefully this is built with roboports. So that's a lot of grenades being produced. This thing, excellent suggestion, excellent thing. Just why not? Why not indeed? It's once you get to a point where you're saying, "Yep, I'm never going to use this," just do this one. Of course, when it gets full, you have to figure out. No, you just take all of it and pave the world. I think concrete, stone bricks in this case would be even more valuable. Oh, that's an interesting pattern you opted for. Probably not the most ideal, but let's see. Here, I think the plastic is doing very good work. This one is unfortunately destroying very good work. Oh, electricity is also a problem. So it wasn't all bad, the fact that we could see that... what? What? Are you seriously stamping down blueprints like this? I'm gonna... Yep. That's an interesting blueprint you designed to build here. Does it spell anything? Nope. It just desperation, just stamping whatever something down there. And that one is interesting. Yeah, if it works, it's not. Nope, it's just interesting. This one, I like this one because what I like about it is that everything is moving. And that's, I think, is one of the key points to the production challenge. Keep the belts moving. Always, 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 always moving. This one is accumulating. We have lots and lots of blue circuits. And blue circuits is the moneymaker for Harry Muppet. It's also why he's in the lead, I think. The blue circuits, everything here. How many iron lines? 1, 2 iron lines and some steel lines. I think you need to focus. Why? Okay, they need some power poles inbound to get on with it. Yeah, fascinating how different people approach the challenge. Yes, this is why I love these challenges. We saw it last time as well, how different it was. And Grumpy Joe is making Sacred Path. That is nice to see. Not the most aesthetic, but it. I like this way of doing it. I think that's a cool extra thing to consider when building. No belts allowed. Yeah, but we have some ideas. Oh, look at this. Thank you, Tracer. This is beautiful. Building city blocks. And, ooh, careful. I'm building it close. Building city blocks. That's nice to see. Definitely points for that. Sherwood, where are you? Oh, you're also just stamping things down here. Paving the world. I guess this is simply just to get rid of it. Yeah. Pick up, so that they continue to operate. And what else do we have? We have, they're not working. That's a shame because that's actually what, I think that's maybe another 5,000 that could have been eked out of this. But Stig and Harry Muppet are just, there's a good competition here, but in terms of who wins, not really that close of a game. Isn't he going to explore the chests? I don't know. And Presser is staring at a pipe factory. What do we have here? I like this one, just sneaking it by the other ones. This is as soon as you discover this, you open up a lot of opportunities. And I think that's again totally the essence of this. I think it works. I know that it can be frustrating for the people who expect it. I don't know what they expected, but that's interesting. But it's it works. It does achieve what we wanted to do, like forcing to do different builds. Ooh, what's that? Oh, this has concrete. That's interesting until you realize, hey, why don't I just put it in a chest? Yeah, this is good. This is very good. That's I think that's a lot of money here, isn't it? Presser, we don't really know how much it is, but it must be something. Some say he's a CIA experiment that went wrong, that he only eats cheese. Oh no, he's the steak. Yep. We're closing indeed. Hopefully 30 minutes enough to close in enough. No, I don't think so. They are neck and neck, so he's not catching up. It's just because as you get bigger number, those 300,000 of difference between more, in this case, almost 400, 350,000, it'll just be a smaller percentage. But he's distanced himself from Pressure and Sherwood, and quite significantly, but also up there. And the interesting thing is actually that the people in the lead, Stig has not really used the goodie bags, not even gotten this one. And yet it's still efficient. I think oh wow, you know you're burning off blue signs. That's gonna cost you in your production. Don't know if that's gonna be really a big deal or not, but you have to make sure that they can continue to work. And this is the moneymaker, I think. This is the one that really makes a big difference. Just getting it, solving it, getting it working, figuring out how it works. Oh, see this, now we see the impact. This is the impact of starting the blue science. You're burning so much. Let's have a look at how much actually you're burning. So that's 71. No, that was not correct. It is 470 plus 70, 540, 560, 560 per science pack. So if something costs 100 science pack, that's 50,000 you just lose over time, of course, by enabling this one. So I think in this kind of production challenge where resources are quite scarce, you have to be careful about knowing when to build and when not to build, and only research the stuff that you need. Oh, you're even making gray science. Wow. How much is that worth? Because I'd use like a stupid amount of iron. Look for solutions elsewhere. There we go. What is that? That is our second to last solution. What is it we have in this one? Let me just check. Okay. It's for the people in the lead. It's not going to be worth much. That one here. But it gives just that 100 blue science in order to just leapfrog into the advanced oil processing. Look at that. The stake is actually decreasing now. Is it decreasing? No, it's not decreasing. That's actually interesting. See, this one is minus, but this one is still going up. How can it go up when this one is a negative number? Oh, oh, that's one of those where like, damn it. What are you building? Are you building more? Yeah, I think engines is actually a really good one. 403? Well, it is going up. It keeps going up. I don't get why it goes up when this is such a big negative number. Hey, he finally found the boxes. Yes, he did. He did find the... not all of them. Oh, he put some steel in there. Yes, he did find it and instantly just put stuff in there. And now I wonder if he says, I wonder how long they've been around there. And then he immediately starts replacing and putting things in. Excellent. But at this point, adding more, yeah, that's the underground. But adding underground belts to something that's already built, not worth it. But adding something down here, definitely worth it. So Stig has been really just stagnating for a while now because he's been burning off on the blue science. That made such an impact. Such a huge impact on burning it. You can, okay, now it's going down. So it goes slowly up, but then it takes a big chunk down every minute or something. Because he's losing it before, it's the average per minute, but per second it's increasing. Okay. And now the science has stopped. No, it's still going. Did he just... Oh, he's... Electric engine. Electric engine is red and green, so that's okay. That's not too expensive. And now it'll start increasing again. So Harry Muppet is catching up. He is now 250,000 off, but it's... Even if he was at 0, Stig was at 0, and Harry Muppet was at 25, there would still be 10 minutes of production. It's not completely impossible. To be honest, it was just the first elsewhere that felt like a kick in the nuts with bots not able to pick up anything, just trying to get played dirty. Now there is no path. Wow, you're a cranky one, or you're a really grumpy one, aren't you? Well, it's if you sign up for a competition, then it's this is part of it. It's part of it. Figuring out what how to solve it. Let's look at Harry Muppet, what he's up to, how he is generating more value. This is value. More red signs, red circuits, because they are, and it's going to take a while for them to actually fill up a belt. It's good, but it's not really just increasing that much. I think it's important not to use these at all. is there anything else that would be, sort of be a logic way for Harry Muppet to eke out some more points in a hurry? I think here's a lot of points. Here's a lot of points. It could be just utilized. Even you can say, yeah, what would be the point of building something I think that would be worth something? Let's have a look. If I build like another path here with miners, and just go in here and build a long line, like really long line of just basically, like, who was it who did that? Just not build it very advanced. I think it was Matt who built it like this. Matt, just like this one. Just build a long line like this, and you just pick up a lot of iron, a lot of coal that you can easily just produce, and then feed it once. And let's see. So let's take a look at copper, for example. I'd imagine copper and iron are the same. No, they're not the same. 574 and 646. Okay, so let's take the copper part. So copper can store in 100 for each furnace. And I don't know, does it mean that you can't make it? Yes, that means you can make it. That means that if you have 10 or if you have 20, you could easily have 50 on either side. Let's say you have 100 times 100, that's 10,000 times 6 points. 10,000 times 6 points is 60 points. It's actually not that much. So just building exclusively for copper in just, it's not actually worth as much as I thought. So you would, yeah, it's probably not worth it. So okay, that's an interesting path we have here. Not entirely sort of compliant pathing, but it's still at this point it's not about the aesthetics. These are, I'm sure that anyone who's built a base in this game is not particularly proud of the aesthetics of it compared to what you usually make. All right, Steak is back up and running in the lead, so he's now, what he just needs to do is make sure that he does not research any blue science, because when he does, it goes down quite a bit. And Harry Muppet, all he can do is keep up. And that means it's just gonna rot side by side. Copper is more, yeah. Is that the same with chests then? Cases and scene 7 chests. Yes, they are giving us goodies. You can get a total of 30 in the boxes, plus the boxes themselves. You can pick them up once and put them down again. I don't know how much that actually is. But actually, if just mining things is actually worth something as well. It's not actually, it wasn't that much. If you just have like one line full of stuff. Of course, if you make one line and make it into steel, then absolutely it could be worthwhile. Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's a easy way to get more value, eking out more value out of these locations, such as this one, making all of this into stone bricks, like for example here. But this is not even all of it, it's just some. And once these fill up, then it just continues down the path here, just continues down until the end. And I like this way of working. And each one of those, let's see, how much value is it? It is 8.9, and each one is 100. So I wish I could do like a blueprint, but what is it? What do we call it? Like 20 each? 40 times 8? 32,000. So this is storing 32,000 points. Once you pick it up, spam it down, it's ready to make another 32,000 points over time. I think that's I'm not gonna say it's a key, but it could like make a small bit. Oh, look at this. This is beautiful. This is exactly this kind of stuff that you'd expect to see at this point. Hey! So, get this working, and of course it needs a lot of coal, but that means you need somewhere that, like this. Ah, so Sherwood has already thought about this and is working on it. Unfortunately, it's not really enough to keep up, but it's working. So, Timbo, what are you using? 21 chests, iron chests, and 21 steel chests. Ah, that's good. Do the goodies fail to show up in if the base is completely built over by the end of the event? Nope. They will happen, however, it's almost impossible to fill up completely. So we'll find an empty space. Yeah, that's one of the things that they will try something, and if it doesn't, then it'll try around it. It's apparently an algorithm that already exists, or a function that exists. So this one is a bit of a shame. That was built, but not really taken in use by Sherwood. Kind of got distracted from it, I suppose. This one is not working because lack of copper. So I guess lost train of thought here. Oh, that's beautiful. That's actually also a storage. Not a good one, but you can put things in and then take off your power armor. Picking up coal, picking up coal. Oh, look at the robots there coming along. Ah, see this one. I like this one. This is a lot of value. Let's see if we could. It's basically in this game. It's about storing value as well because you have so limited chests. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. Yeah, so let's call this 40, 80 chests times 100 times 44. That can store a tremendous amount of points. I don't even know how much, but it definitely is. Oops, we need to go back on the map. Map P, not so much there. I'm sure that my Discord is completely full of Map P text when I get back in the Discord in a while. I think Stig has realized that it's probably not a good idea to research anymore. Not that there's any kind of risk, but it's below 300,000. Not really something that's in jeopardy, but you can't really. I guess that even if you stop now, there's 20 minutes, and at this speed, so 20 minutes times 20,000, that's 400,000. So he could actually lose if he disconnected at this point. A pistol still easy win. A pistol's valuable. I suppose they are valuable. They take 5 seconds to build. It's actually a good point. They don't stack very well, but you could just destroy them. But no, you can't destroy them. You can drop them on the floor, but that's about it. Basically, the only way to get rid of things, because if you want to destroy them, you could put them in the chest and destroy the chest. Bad move. However, what you could do is put them in your inventory at the lower 2 levels of your inventory, take off the power armor, and then be good to go. Matt P is still just raking in those negative points. Discord is actually quite civil. Yeah, I was expecting. Are you showing base spaces, or was it unique that one time? It was a unique opportunity, but I'm also going to do it with another C-block mega base that is being built in the community by Thierry and Dirkus. It's really amazing. I could also imagine that I would want to look at what Technogran has built. So for the active people in the community, if there's something cool that they want to show off, then I'd like to show that off. But if just someone says, hey, I have a base, do you want to show it off? That's not exactly the concept. It's not really the concept. It's just send me your mega base and I'll review it, because it was something that Little Rose has been building with the community, sharing with the community during like 3 months or so, and it would just made really good sense to do a showcase of it. So that's a neat little trick to put it on both sides. It does make a difference, because otherwise this will be idle. It's still constrained on the methanol, on the petroleum, which is fine. See this one, excellent. Where are you going? Okay, yeah. I don't know. Is it correct or not correct that we disabled the storage tanks? Someone at this tech level, wow, that's crazy. That's just cool. Let's see how much they are worth. Okay, so they are an upgrade of more than 10%, but not so much more than 10%. And electric engines, Electric engines might be interesting. Yeah, they're valuable because lubricant is easy to make once you get all that up and running. Engines are high value as well, so increasing value even further. Electric engines might be something. They also stack nicely to 50 and they take a lot of materials and they take forever to build. So that's also a good move. I think there's a lot of correct things that's been built by Stig in this game. And he's still, the fact that he's in the lead and still pulling off, I like that. I like the fact that he's keeps fighting, even though he could basically just idle, pretty much idle at this point. And perhaps people haven't tried using train wagons and fluid wagons for storage. Well, train wagons, yes. Fluid wagons, it's a bit more complex because then you also need the engines and the pumps to get it in there. And, you know, it... yeah, storage tanks at the same... yeah, you got 30,000 per minute. That's... Oh, look for solutions elsewhere. This last one is an interesting one. And it's actually... I think, because at this point, since this is the last one, it needs to be very valuable. And it is. No, it isn't. Where is it? Here? No. Huh. Where are you? Okay, I'm gonna look elsewhere. That's the whole point. Look elsewhere. Grumpy? Nope. Rin Tracer. Building city blocks. Here. This might be it. Nope. Where is it? Is it like... There it is. This is what they get in the very last one. So you can get beacons and modules as well. And beacons and modules, it's something that for the last 15 minutes... Hello, Tracer. So for the last 15 minutes, this is a way to just eke out the last. If it was a close race, that could actually make a difference. For example, for this part. This is also very nice. The problem with the lubricant is exactly that. Where do you leave it when it's built? So you kind of have to do this. It's not actually a bad choice. It's just out of necessity that you have to build it. What you could do is build like a giant network of pipes, and you can't destroy it anyway. Damn. Like the rest, the storage tanks are the last example of to adapt and overcome. Yep. It is. That is a good move, good point. That is the last part where you just think, haha, liquids. But we kind of thought of, we haven't thought of everything, but we've thought of pretty much a lot of things. Let's see if there are any beacons somewhere else. Nope, no beacons. This is a good move. I like this one. I really like this. It's very, very valuable. Sure, it is also, yeah, does something. Hey, Andy. Hey Julius, welcome. Bit late maybe, but you're still welcome. Let's see, did you get anything? No, no one else has discovered it. It's like the messiest bases we've ever seen. I love it. I love it. It's Stig is, oh, you found your solar panels. Yeah, and oh, but you've not connected to the rest of the network. Well, that's a bit of a shame. Not that it really matters, because early game you just did a one-off here and just said, done. I'm not going to bother with power for the rest of the game. Really cool. Cool way of doing it. How much? It's still only 30%. 30% utilization. Let's see. Is there anything else here? Is this working? No, it's not working. Why is it not working? 36. Okay, so it is kind of working. Electronics. Grumpy Joe starting electronics. Woohoo! Shame you can't just dump liquids into the lake. Yep. Probably a good idea though, that you can't do it. Okay, see, these are also things I like. Just, all right, done. Be done with it. This is about him noticing quite late, finding this steel chest down here. I have a feeling, maybe that's just a feeling, that Stig has found this lately, found the other ones and thinking, I wonder what else I've been missing out of. Not that it really matters at this point. We're doing exceptionally well here. And we're down to the last 10 minutes of the race. Really Gotta pay attention if you want to catch up 300,000 in the last 10 minutes. You can dump landfill into the lake. Yeah, dump landfill into the lake. Yep, that's kind of the point of landfilling. Let's see. Okay, so there's still. Oh yeah, that's just a storage chest for future. Here, Muppet. Are you taking anything? I like this crossing. I very much like it. Reverse the offshore pump, filling up the lake, make it, yeah, color it with stuff. I think Harry Muppet is keeping up so well by simply keeping all the belts flowing all the time. Yeah, as close as. But you still haven't found this one. Oh my god, you're gonna be so sorry when you realize this. Realize that you built all the way around this. Have you found any of the chests? No? Probably not. Where is your later chest? Here's one. That's your fuel. That's the last one. Yeah. It's hard to really put it into effect. But if you find it, what about Tracer? Tracer found it, but did they get in? No. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Does that even work? No, it doesn't. That's the worst place to put it. Because these are not affected by... They don't have any effects sources on them. This one... Nope. So these are not doing anything here. Why is that? It's being loaded into that. I don't get it. But there's a nice city block. That's something we can all appreciate. A nice city block here. Sherwood is making not really compliant paths, but so be it. This is not about the path is sacred, so we may excuse him for, well, yeah, see this one. This is the kind of stuff that maybe should have happened at some point. Just building stuff like this. Exactly. I think I've seen too little of this, just mass production, something simple, and it's done, let it run. I don't know. I'm definitely not a perfect player in this regard, but because once you build it, it's gonna take care of itself for a very long time, at least the last 8 minutes for sure. Are you using power, those beacons? Yep, they are using power. And therefore they should also be putting in an improvement or an effort on what to give us some extra value, right? And again, you can go over here, pick up a lot of coal. Oops, nope. This one also has a lot of value in it. Could be in one where you pave the world. That would be interesting. We have some challenges on the future. This is a good example. You just put things in here and whatever comes in will be converted up here. I think this is way overestimated, but it doesn't matter. It's working, right? Might have been done like not too long ago where it's like, I'm not going to use it anywhere. Jared making art? I don't know. Maybe that's modern art. Don't know. What about Pressor is still retaining his third place. But that is the real battle here between Sherwood and Pressor. And that's just like, come on, we can do it. What are we building here? Okay, there's finally some oil production upcoming. Yeah, it's a bit late, but better late than never. Just doing whatever I can to retain his position. I can see Steak has also been like slowing down a bit. All right, so as we are approaching the last 6 minutes of the game, I would like everyone, not everyone, but anyone in chat who finds this, who would like to provide some feedback on this event. What do you think is good? What do you think is bad? What do you find entertaining? What did you not find particularly entertaining? So it's important for us to get a sense of what worked and what didn't work and what we need to make better next time. I'll also, of course, be asking the players how what they feel, and hoping that they'll provide their feedback so that we can make improvements for next time. I of course I'm first of all, I'm very happy with the fact that it worked, and it provided such a tough challenge that there are two people who basically gave up, and that is it may seem a bit harsh, but I want this to be not a cakewalk. I want it to be different. I want it to be something where you need to think about it and figure something out. That's going to be the interesting part here. Change Grumpy? Yeah, well, that's probably going to come from itself. I don't think he's going to sign up for more events like this. That's he's welcome to do it, of course, but I don't think he will. Personally, the balance between bots was a bit off. They seem to really affect the use of it. Was a bit off, and seem to really affect the use of it for the player. Is that a bad thing? I mean, I felt that I did not want them to be building too much, and the robots would actually allow them to build something like this without making too many errors. And I felt that was an important part of just saying, all right, you can make these things. You just build the small things correctly and then roll it out. Wow, Stig is really just cranking up money here, or points. I like the concept of the challenge, and I'm looking forward to any other scenarios you come up with. It would have been good if you could drop in and chat for 5 minutes with each player. Yes, I would like to do that. I'll actually ask Stig after the game if he's willing to do an interview. So I've really been impressed with the Mehrabov's. Yes, exactly. I like the random rules. Yeah, in some parts it was a bit too easy with the goodies. Yeah, but a bit too easy. I think some people are not agreeing with a bit too easy, but I like it. I only came in 5 minutes ago, but it looks like I raised the most points by making things. Yes. It was a nice touch. Having to discover the rule set as you go was great. I think that's one of the key points, and that's will be one of the criteria or something moving forward. We'll give a hint in the title to kind of give an indication of something about what it's about. It's not going to be like comprehensive. The paths are sacred kind of indicate something about the path, and they will play a role. Also, in this case, design before you build is also hinting at there's something about you must build. The next one, the spices must flow, is going to be a lot more difficult to comprehend, but I mean, you might get that reference, and then kind of imply what that could be something about. So what I'm also wow, Rin is not getting any point. I think the underground belt should be returned for the next scenario. Oh, by all means, Toby. There's going to be completely different from this scenario. I mean, this was basically about making this. You can't undo something, right? Then we were just looking at it and saying, like, that's not going to be challenging enough, because once you do that, it's not going to change. Sherwood is coming into a third prize. Awesome. I think that's it has to be something extra, and therefore we made something more tough so that you couldn't just stamp down your usual blueprints. It was very important for me that you'd have to redesign everything from scratch, and that's the challenge, the design before you build. I love the rules that force players to come with something new. There are some solved solutions in Factorio, and it's nice to see players. Exactly. Thank you, Sean. That's exactly what I'm would add member to the interview to get both perspectives. Yes, I think that's awesome. I'll do that. Ask Harry and Stig for an interview. I'm writing here the game. Okay, so I think that's Pranbit so far. It's interview channel. He did an interview channel. It would be interesting if the players had to discover what scored them points as well. Yes, I like that as well, except that it would be a stupendous amount of work for us to redesign this scoring system. Yes, and the contestants can see the scoreboard, so that's kind of as well. Hey, Grumpy Joe, just so sorry for dipping out right at the start. The price factor is definitely frustrating. I was expecting some was more the look elsewhere. Yeah, well, sounds good. Can be quick. I have to work soon. Of course. Great. And we are simply on the countdown here, and then we're gonna end the scenario at exactly the right time, I hope, and then we'll see what happens. I'm just gonna be ready with a screenshot. I'm actually gonna take a screenshot now because I'm just so worried that if it just crashes and we lose the screenshot, that would be unfortunate. There we go. Let's do the countdown. 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. What? Oh, that's awful. That was good thing I did that. For participate. Okay, this is amazing. That's awesome. I don't know. Confirm setting and start next round. I don't think we're gonna start next round just now. Oh, so this is a setup screen. I've never seen this one before. Awesome. I will go to the Discord and I will go into a channel. Where is it? There's a lot of in here. Okay, I'm just gonna. What did you do? I wrecked it. I'm sorry. To the players, please provide your input about the event. And of course, congratulations to Stick to. Yay, awesome. Let's find there was something about an interview channel. There we go. Boop, boop. We are now in the interview channel. How will I create instant invite? How do I do this? I will add where does that? Oh, it's only invite friends. Copied. How do I do this? I'll do that one. Nope, that's probably not it. And I have no idea how to invite people for this closed channel. Oh, come on. All right, so how, let's see. How do I do this? Hey, Muppet, you're here. Oh, I need to unmute myself, maybe. There we go. I'm now in the channel. Harry, are you here?
I believe so. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Awesome. Congratulations on your second place.
Thank you very much. Yeah, awesome.
So my question to you, we'll wait for Steve to join us. You did not find the chests. You are not.
To be honest, I found the first couple of chests, but I was just like, I've got a plan. I'm sticking to it, and I didn't really need the chests. I don't know if that sounds a bit, egotistical, but I really feel like I didn't need them.
But the one with the early one with iron chests and underground belts, I think that would have been very helpful for you in the beginning. It could maybe have just put you up a bit.
Knew there was a chest lying around with underground, I would have gone for it pretty
Yeah,
quickly, but I assumed that that was the challenge, just no undergrounds whatsoever.
yeah. But there was one, and you were kind of building all around it and didn't notice it. When you rewatch the screen, you'll be like, "How could I miss that? It was so close to you." Um, so that's I think that was really fun to see that you just persisted on yeah, working with the conditions from the start. There were actually some neat things in those chests. So what do you thought? What did you think of it? Frustrating, interesting, challenging? What are your thoughts?
Uh, Challenging, yeah, I think, but in a good way. I played a practice game on the weekend and I decided I'm going to go for blue science, and that's what I did. And in the end, I suppose I could have gone for more because I got to blue science a lot quicker than I thought I was going to get. And I didn't have a plan for what to do next. So I was kind of running around the last 20 minutes with no idea what to do. So,
But I think it was also it showed that you had prepared, that you had a game plan and you were building something, and then of course the no undergrounds kind of made it a bit more challenging. I really like your solutions with the red inserters. Made it very simple.
yeah, I spent as soon as I got into the map and I saw no undergrounds, I jumped on Excel and started mapping out some designs really quickly. And
Oh really?
yeah, glad they worked out.
Yeah. Oh, that was awesome. Just going into Excel. That it was just interesting to see how it worked. I think you're the first one to figure out a way to get uh, coal and iron on the same belt. That was really cool.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy
Yeah.
about getting that done.
And now we have Stig joining us. Thank you for participating and congratulations, Stig. That was pretty
That
good. Go ahead.
was a fun event. Thanks for hosting it.
Sorry, it's kind of hard to hear what you're saying, but do come again. Maybe not the best mic.
Sorry, I'm going to head off.
Yeah.
Got to go to work.
Thank you for
Thanks a
participating.
lot
Yeah,
for hosting me.
yeah, of course. Like to hear your feedback. So that was awesome. Thanks. So, Stig, congratulations. Any feedback from you on the scenario? How did it work out? What did you like? What didn't you like? What? How was it?
It was challenging. I hadn't not hitting chests was kind of tricky.
Yeah, but you managed really well. There's no doubt about that.
My starting thing with the gears and circuits, when I saw no chests, I was like, how do I had no clue what I was going to do then.
Okay, because it looked really. You turned it into some really neat where you put those when you then find the first set of chests. You managed to make it into a really neat design where you had to put it into chest, put it back on the belt, so you could use it for what is it? The green science, the the inserters and belts. That was really cool.
Yeah.
And but you do have some practice on PvP scenarios before, right?
Yeah, I've played PvP with the 3RI guys.
Yeah, yeah. So it showed that the point about okay, keep the belts moving, scale up, and then just adding a bit of challenge to it.
Yeah. We start with bots and we can import blueprints on that. So
Yeah, and
having to memorize everything.
yeah, but that was also the intention with the design before build, that I wouldn't allow you to just stamp down blueprints immediately. I wanted you to solve some problems. And it was fun to see 8 people working their way through how do I get iron and coal on the same belt for just to do a basic smelting. And
Yeah.
everyone had unique solutions. It was really cool.
Because I think every design uses undergrounds for that anyway.
Exactly.
You have to.
Yes, that was the intention. You didn't go out hunting for those chests, but you were maybe set on your game plan and then adopted to the rules without sort of, hey, go look elsewhere? Is it a conscious decision, or was it because you just didn't notice or didn't know that you were supposed to go out and look for things?
I saw chests and just grabbed them when I saw them.
Yeah.
But I didn't grab the grenades.
No.
Because you lose points when you use them.
Yeah, okay. But it was just a simple deconstruction tool.
Yeah.
But I guess you
I
didn't
chopped a
need
lot.
them. Yeah. So, I mean, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are in general, and of course, you can just let me know in Discord. I also really appreciate that you're participating and that you are also on such short notice jumping in and having this interview. So, really appreciate it, and of course, if you were in Discord, give me your somewhere of transferring the prize money so you can spend that. So congratulations.
Might get a new headset.
Yeah, maybe. So you can be better sound for the next winning interview, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you of course also have a spot if you want for the upcoming challenge as the winner of this one. If you are up for another challenge, which will be something completely different.
Yeah.
So, but thank you very much also for the interview, and for congratulations yet again for winning this round. And we're jumping out. So that was it for this scenario. We have another one come up in 2 weeks from now. I hope that people have not been scared off based on this scenario. I think it might be daunting for some, but I'm also hoping that it will also be inspiring to others to say, hey, this seems really awesome. I want to do more of this, or give it a shot myself, and being just have a go at it, because it's more fun if there are more people signed up. If there are not people signed up, then we also have to question on, does it really make sense to keep running on this? I hope it will continue to be a success and continue something we can continue running. I'd like to thank everyone, and especially the map makers, Vitali, pulling such a huge weight on this. He just did an amazing job on setting the whole thing up, organizing the maps and everything. Also to Timbo, 007 Up is also jumped in the last second, been adding features as well, and doing fixing of the scenario and up to the last seconds. Really, really cool. So thank you as well. The Subri guy, who's not so much worked on this scenario, but working on some of the other ones we have in the pipeline. And of course to PrimeDead and Vitali for their hosting services. If we can just have a link to the support for the technical staff for the challenge. Yes, thank you, Cherry. That's very awesome. And for, of course, Cherry as the moderator, and of course for everyone who joined in and participated in this event. This has been awesome, and I really hope that you'll be coming back, watching some other time. And I think I'll be dialing out for now. So thanks everyone, and see you around. Be sure to sign up, chat about it. Please provide your feedback in the dedicated channels in Discord. So good night everyone, and I'll see you maybe tomorrow for C Block. Good night.